Oh, there we go. It worked. It didn't fuck it up. Hey, everybody, welcome to bonus content.
Hello.
This is gonna be this is like the only bonus content that is like post, not live afterwards bonus content. Those are words. Tony, tell me what's going on. Everybody's here. What's going on, Tony?
So, I mean, I just wanted to. So I had this doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Yesterday. So I left work a little bit early, and I went down to this eye doctor on Main Street. So I went in. They looked. Okay, the first thing that fucking happened. It was the worst thing ever. I went in. I was waiting, and then he was like, "Hey, come over here. We're gonna do this like pre-test on your eyes." And I was like, "Okay." And for context, I don't wear glasses. I've never had glasses. The last time I got my eyes checked, my vision was like 20/10, which is better than the average or whatever. Like really, really good eye vision. And I was like, great. But that was forever ago. I have special eyes.
You've beautiful eyes.
Yeah. So I went in and so the first one was like, you look at a dot in the middle of the screen and it like puts some weird ass, like blurry, squiggly thingies all over the place, and it's testing your peripheral vision. So you press the button whenever you get a squiggly. So I did that, and that was fine. And then the next one, it was he just like put a thing in my eye. I don't know. He made me look at the thing, and I read some letters, and it was fine. But it was not like the normal like cover one of your eyes and then read some letters, and then find out if you can see or not. It was some other thing. But anyway, the one that I wanted to talk about was the third one. So I look in this other thing, and he's like, all right, this is going to test your eye for something. I need you to look at it with one eye until you see the green thing. It's like, okay. So I put my head on this thing, and it basically had me like line my eye up directly with this green light. So I was looking at the green light, and he's like, all right, it's going to like measure your eye. So just stare at the green light. And I was like, okay. So I stared at the green light for like a minute while it was like moving around. Then at the end of the minute, it went and like a blast of wind into my eye, directly into my eye socket.
Spits in your eye.
He didn't tell me about it, and I was like, "What the fuck? I trusted you, man."
That's awesome.
And then I had to do it again.
Fuck.
But anyway,
well, you expected it
for the other eye, right?
Yeah, I expected it for the other eye. But the first one was so fucked up because he didn't tell me it was gonna put air in my eye. Anyway, I'll never trust that man again. He's a shady one.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So I did that, and he was like, all right, great. Now go sit down again. I was like, all right. So I went down and I watched Moana
Nice.
for a solid 10 minutes. And the doctor comes out and he's like, all right, let's go hang out. And I was like, okay. So we went into the room and I sat in the chair, and he covered my face with a giant metal plate. And he covered one of my eyes, and we looked at some letters. And it turns out I have really bad astigmatism. So
can you explain to me what astigmatism is?
Yeah, so my right eye fucking sucks, but my left eye is really, really good, so I can see just fine anyway. But it's because my left eye is like a superhero eye.
Shoots lasers and shit, man.
Yeah.
Takes a puff of air like it ain't shit.
Yeah, so basically, like when my left eye is covered, at distance, stuff gets blurry really, really fast.
Okay.
But close up, everything's fine. But my right eye has no problems at all. Like it's perfect. So anyway, I have to. I don't need to wear glasses like all the time, but he recommended that I get a pair for like late night driving while raining. Basically, like when it could be blurry in general weather plus late night. And so also he recommended.
Hold on. So in other words, you need a monocle like I do.
Yeah, exactly. I basically need a monocle. So he gave me the prescription because the glasses that they wanted to sell me in the office were like $300, and I was like, "Fuck you." So I got the prescription, and like I have the paper. Hold on. And I don't know anything about eyes, right? Because I've never had to deal with prescription for like glasses or anything like that. So I went to Costco after work today because my parents told me that they do like really cheap like eye stuff. But everyone knows that apparently. So they had no frames like at all. So I went there, and the really nice lady was telling me how everything works. But So I ordered the frame online that I saw at the eye doctor that I kind of liked for like 1/4 the price that they were going to charge me at the eye doctor.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like at looking at this thing, like for my left eye, like it's just a clear lens, like that doesn't do anything. But the right one's pretty strong. So anyway, it's just this whole weird thing that I've never had to experience before.
It's what they call a subtle monocle.
Yeah, it's a monocle, but you don't know it is.
Monocle incognito.
Yeah,
we should have hooked up you up with Danny Wiesner. Fly out to Portland. Or he's not in Portland. He is in Oregon. He's an eye doctor.
Yeah, I should have done that.
He would have helped you out.
He probably would have been like, dude, because okay, here's the
he
thing,
would have
right?
told you if he was going to blow in your eye.
Yeah, he definitely would have told me. That was the worst. That was literally the worst thing to happen.
Go ahead, Nabeshin.
Two things. One, we're not having a doc this week, are we?
No.
Okay. And second thing, we're not really live, apparently.
No.
We're not supposed to be.
We are broadcasting privately.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense.
So that way this is archived and backed up, but people can't watch it right now.
Right.
Were you like searching fervently for a Google link?
Yeah, I was like, oh, where's the chat?
Nabeshin, it's just you and me right now. You and me and the boys.
I got a cold one.
Let's crack some cold ones. It is kind of like, this is like throwback style. It's not how it normally is. Although we did do this last year. I got a lot of emergency Pringles if things get hectic. I gotta save this for game of the year. All right. Anybody else? Anything interesting? It's been a few weeks.
That wasn't it, but it's fine. I don't need to go further into detail of my ridiculous week.
I didn't want to know if like anyone else like spit in your eye.
I mean, look, dude. When it's for pleasure, it's fine.
We talked about it a little bit last week. Tony got a new job.
Yeah,
he told Nabeshin and I about it before we started recording.
It requires a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
So I've been very busy.
Hopefully, when things like get started, it'll be a little bit less stressful.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping for you. It's been a couple weeks since I talked to you, Nabeshin. How are you doing, buddy? You're so sick.
Yeah, that's literally all it's been. I've just been really, really sick.
That GIF you sent on Twitter to say that you were feeling a little bit better though was choice. So I appreciated that.
It's really good.
But did you get up to any games while you were sick, or were you just like laying there miserable?
It's weird. Because like it was like probably like around Christmas where I was like beating a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm.
And then like probably like the day or the day before or the day after my brother and his family left. It's like when I just started to get just like really sick, and then like I just didn't really feel like doing anything. And me not doing anything is real weird, because it's really me not doing anything, like not watching anything or really doing anything. It's just me just laying in bed. Like I'm so miserable when I'm sick that it's just a thing. Like, I mean, I'm emotionally and physically, it's like I don't like doing anything or going anywhere or watching anything or playing anything. So it was like a weird thing. Yeah. And this happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen all the time. Like probably the last time I got this sick was when I was in Maryland, honestly.
Yes, I remember this.
And I was like the last time I felt that sick and just like couldn't really do anything. So yeah, but like I don't know. Yeah. But this has definitely been the longest I've been sick. Like this, like, cause I've been sick for like a little bit like before Christmas, I would say. Mm-hmm. It's just like something that's just been like adding on and multiplying. It was straight up the flu, by the way.
I was worried you were gonna like get pneumonia or something.
Yeah, I never had.
Or you were gonna die.
Like the flu does kill a lot of people. All right, like let's not.
No, it doesn't
make it inconsequential. Well, not in America, but listen, I was worried. Okay, Excuse me. Pardon me. I'm glad you're feeling better though.
Yeah, I'm good. Other than that though, like I did beat a couple of games. Like let's start a real quick Pyre thing. Like beat Resident Evil 7, so I know that whole thing with that.
Good.
And
Did you play the DLC or
no, I didn't really care to do that. I enjoyed the game a lot for what it was, but I didn't really care about playing the Chris Redfield stuff. So I was like, the shooting stuff is not the best part about the game that I liked about it. Like it's pretty much like everything else other than that.
fair?
And like just revisited a couple of games like Tekken 7 and Gravity Rush 2 and played a little more Night in the Woods. I've just been all around. So yeah, I've been cool. Oh, I got ARMS. I played that game, so we can add that game just because of the intro and nothing else. Because nothing else about that game is good.
Intro song. You been doing all right, Scott? You weren't here last week either.
That's right, I wasn't.
Yeah, you thought it was Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to go down the chicken peak and I had to do furniture.
Yeah. Okay.
Furniture's
important.
Yeah. Kinda.
Yeah, you need it to sit on, hold your clothes, sleep on.
So we tossed most of the old furniture out. So I think it's called wicker furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Witcher furniture?
Yeah, from The Witcher.
Wait.
I know a specific unicorn that is Witcher furniture.
Whipper, like Cool Whip.
Cool Whip, Whicker.
Whipper.
Nabeshin knows the unicorn I'm talking about.
I know a lot about that unicorn.
So I say I'm very intimate
Basically,
with that
it kind of looks like straw, but
Yeah.
it's
Like
that's just how it looks like. It's not
down
exactly what it's made out of. So we had a bunch of that, and that stuff breaks over time. Like that,
the straw
those things
pieces.
generally have
Yeah.
a set expiration date.
Tony, I think you're dropping something on the table.
It's not me.
I don't know who that is.
Then it's Scott.
It's probably me.
Because I have a
Stop dropping shit.
I'm not dropping shit.
It sounds like something impacting a desk over and over again.
It sounds like
Something
a rubber
like
ball
rubber.
hitting a table.
Scott's like it must.
That's probably my back against the chair.
Maybe.
Maybe it's the chair recoiling if
is
you're
it-
like bouncing around.
Is it your back shaped like a rubber ball?
Is it your neck, your back?
Your pussy and or your crack? There, Tony. I said it.
No, she's dying. Please, God.
Continue.
Anyways, yeah, I was down to GD doing that, and I forgot to bring my shit,
That's all right.
so I couldn't do the podcast.
Well, it's not all right because Tony and I were crying into Jarrett's long, beautiful arm.
No, that I feel like that we had a good show anyway.
No,
Not
we didn't.
to say that you are of no value, Scott, because you're of much value, many value.
Yeah,
So-
you had Jared to cover.
Yeah,
good.
Tony did say Scott's dead to me before we started that show, though.
Yeah, I did say that.
But
That was for many reasons.
though.
Yeah, I figured. All right.
Yeah, we
I
don't have to get into that.
Listen.
Do we? I don't even fucking remember what I was. Whatever.
I don't need to get into your beef or your pork or your
Your-
loins.
Your lamb and your goat.
You do need to get into these thighs, though.
Oh yeah.
God.
I had a good week too. I had a fucking like the worst Tuesday ever of my life. It felt like, but
Dude,
that's just because depression is terrible and happens. And
I hope everything turned out okay.
yeah, I mean, like I was better the next day. Like that day was very, very bad. I appreciate you texting me and checking in on me. I was just like not in a spot where I wanted to like be around people or talk to anyone or be
I
alive.
understand that.
So I powered through and I appreciate everyone sending good vibes on the Twitters. That was very sweet. But things are slowing down at work a little bit. So it's like a little bit less stress there, which is nice. But hopefully things will even out. I might be entering a new position at work. We'll see.
Oh, cool.
I'll keep you guys posted. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I might be a full-time boy.
Oh, neat.
Which is both terrifying because I've never had a full-time job before, and exciting.
It's okay. Like just with they'll make sure that your schedule's pretty like concrete there, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think the shitty part about a full-time position is if it's a modular schedule, so you don't know where your 40 hours are actually gone from your week. Especially if it's and also if it's in a position where like you're gonna get called in for more than you're supposed to. That compounds on it a lot because then instead of 40 hours, that quickly turns into like 60 hours out of your week,
and then
it's really hard to deal with that.
Unstable, and that's rough.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have to worry about that, and I
don't think you do either, which is great.
I always have Wednesdays and Sundays off now, which is nice. I can kind of work around that, and I always get off early Friday nights.
Hell yeah!
So that we can do this dumb shit. Let's talk about our favorite video games of 2017. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right,
what have you been playing this week, Alex?
Well, let me tell you about Stardew Valley.
Oh shit!
I should never have bought that game on Switch.
Why?
It's a bad idea. I can't stop playing it.
No, that's
Hold on.
good,
Is it multiplayer through online?
Not yet. It's coming in, I think, March.
Will it be through online?
Yeah.
Does
So
that mean?
what you're telling me is I have to buy another Switch before March.
You got rid of your Switch, Tony?
Oh yeah, dude, forever ago. After I beat Zelda, I was like, I'm never gonna play this shit again.
God damn it, Tony.
And I got rid of it.
It's what you're telling me is that you need to stop.
I need to stop.
Until March comes out.
Dude, no, I'll just start it. I'll start another fucking save file, dude. I'll never stop. Are you guys ready to start recording?
Oh yeah, I should probably do that, huh?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready, Scott. I heard your sound checks. You're a good boy.
My mic has been fucking up, but since you guys have been able to hear me so far this whole time, I really need to invest in a new mic, but that's so far down the road for me right now. But hopefully with all this work,
I have an idea for that.
Your mic and not the cord?
What? Oh, no, it's this mic for sure, dude. You know how long I've had this mic and how terrible it has been the entire time?
No.
Alex knows I have plans already, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had my mic for a long time, too.
Your mic is way better than mine.
You got that Ars Technica technology, Scott.
That's true.
It's a good brand. Yeti is a budget brand. It's good, but it's budget. I have an idea for that, Tony, though.
I should probably look up this mic just to see exactly what I have, because I have no idea.
I looked it up once. It's like an Ars Technica USB version of one of their condenser mics.
Yeah, it is.
It's good. It's not too pricey. Whenever you are ready, Tony. I assume Nabeshin, you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm ready. I just got a Discord notification, and it was Mina had made a new channel on her Discord for people who are streaming. So I said, I'm streaming, but it's private stream for the podcast.
It's very private. All right. On 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Did you do it, Tony? Or are we good? I heard a goddamn it whispered quietly.
Oh yeah, it was because I had to quickly remember where I had put my audio program and stuff, and hit the maximize button, and then hit the record button after arming my tracks.
Hit that fat maximize with a PA. All right. It is Friday, January 5th, 2017. Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Nope.
So anyway, now that we've already interrupted you,
first one of the year, it's already a mess.
I have a question. So it's been a while, but I don't remember. I don't know if this is even still in your mind, but a while ago, since we just talked about it, I linked you some audio equipment that I'm looking at doing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever look into that and be like, hey, is this guy stupid or not?
I looked into it. It looked good. Yeah,
right, good. So
I believe I'd heard of it before.
Yeah, so I'm probably not an idiot. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll reevaluate once it gets time for me to actually make that purchasing decision and see if there's something better or more worth it.
Yeah.
More worth. But I think I
think it'll be fine.
Should be fine.
All right. This time's for real. It is Friday, January 5th.
Alex.
God, fuck you, Tony.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
It is Friday, January 5th, 2018, and you are listening to Irrational Passions Podcast. I am your host, Alex O'Neill. And joining me this week is Scott Guthier,
Hello.
Tony Horvath,
Hello.
and Brian Nabeshin Jackson.
I live.
We're all the fam's back together again.
I can't wait for the week where Nabeshin just like says fuck it and does the
Dies.
hello with us.
Okay.
It's like, I'm done with all.
That'd be a pretty good week. Also, let's check to see if I'm still recording.
Good thing to check.
Good question.
We're good.
We're good. Okay, good. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Technically
Hi.
the last episode will go out in New Year as well, but if you missed that, Happy New Year. I love all of you. 2018, we're gonna make it better, y'all. That's my personal goal, is just make it better than 2017. This is gonna be a different episode. We are not live for this. We are just putting this out after the fact, maybe on Monday, if not Tuesday. And we're going to go through our personal top 10 lists of 2017 games that we liked a whole lot. Scott, what was your tally? What was your total number?
I have a list.
Okay. It has a certain number of games on it. So we're going to go one by one, all four of us, and that's the whole show. We did this last year, and I actually really liked it. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I just kind of...
I thought it was passable.
I don't even remember it.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than the individual recordings.
Yeah. I think it's fun just for us just to sit around round table and talk it out. So this is episode... The thing I didn't think ahead of time, this is episode 360.
Yeah.
We're putting a spin on it. I don't know. I wish I had thought ahead of time. Spin on them. Give me that fidget spin, Nabeshin.
I threw it away.
Okay, good.
Threw it away?
That's probably...
You made it
The
correct.
spinner. Roger is sad.
Yeah, somewhere. Nabeshin was spinning to win before we started the show.
Wait, I think, hold on. Nabeshin, I got you.
Like it's somewhere in the room. I just threw it away because I knew it'd be distracting.
There it is. 360. Let's go. So that's what the plan for this episode. So it's not gonna be a normal episode. Next week or next weekend, we are recording our 5-part game of the year situation, and that'll go out all throughout next week. And this week on IrrationalPatches.com are our 10 roundtable discussions about 10 games. So we only recorded, or will have recorded 9, as it turns out. We'll figure something out for the 10th, or we'll just put out 9, either way. But those all turned out really good. I recorded 2 of them so far. I was on 2 of them. I will be on a 3rd on Sunday. And all the other ones I peeked into, and they seem pretty good. Shout outs. I want to do a thank you to, we got some new blood on IrrationalPatch.com. Mike Burgess has been editing those for us. And he did a really, really great job. And I also shout out to Scott White, another Scott, but he writes, he doesn't podcast. He's working on some written stuff for us, and both of them will be kicking off kind of like their posts on IP by doing a top 10 list this week, or at some point this week. So check out that. Let's talk about our favorite video games. Oh, and thank you to all of our guests that wrote guest top 10 lists this past week. A lot of really great lists. Thank you to Ben Moore for taking the time to write that. The guys from Two Player Co-op Podcast, Caitlin, I get all the names. The writers are the ones that solicited them. Super thankful for them for pulling all those together. Nick Clay wrote a really great list. It was very different than what I expected. Quentin Hoffman, Trevor Starkey, Sean White, and Kevin White.
Sean White.
Yeah, not that Sean White.
Okay.
That'd be great though. Seth Macy wrote a really good list as well. So thank you everybody for doing a guest top 10 list. Those were really great. I hope people liked the art for those. I made it and I was proud of it. Let's get into it. Let's do. Who wants to start? Who wants to do their list first?
I say we trial by combat.
Okay.
Okay, I
Load
win.
up Nidhogg and get some hot peppers real quick. I probably still have habaneros buried somewhere in my fridge, and
Probably.
that really upsets me. We got so many. I went last year. I can go first this year.
Do it up.
Let's do it. Honorable mentions. 2017 lit year for video games. All things considered. Let me see. I have a lot of honorable mentions. I'll just name off real quick. Near Automata. Automata. One of the two. It's good. It's very good. It just I don't think it panned out for me. Assassin's Creed Origins. If you like Near Automata, more power to you. I do want to say that. Even though I'm gonna shit all over it in our Game of the Year discussions. I don't mean it personally. Assassin's Creed Origins. Oh, go ahead. You wanted to say something, Nabeshin, so.
No, it was like one of those. I didn't know why that had to be mentioned, but okay.
Well, like I like Nier Automata, and it's an
Exactly. So, like, why are you gonna be shitting on it? If you played a lot of games this year,
Yeah,
this is your honorable mentions list. There are games that you played that didn't make the honorable mentions list.
Exactly.
Nier Automata did like that. The comment wasn't necessary. Also, why are you gonna be shitting on it all the Game of the Year show?
you're right.
You like
I probably
the game.
won't be shit.
That's my job because I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's true. Scott's here to take down the games he hasn't played for all of us out there.
I have a method of doing it. It's
I
a
think
fair method.
It is fair to some extent. The game does some really cool stuff. I wish it does some of that stuff better. That's all.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Origins is very good, but probably longer than it needed to be. But it's still super fun. I'm actually excited about Assassin's Creed going forward because of that game. So, Super Mario Odyssey is a very good game that I like a lot. I don't love it though as much as I wanted to, at least. But it's very good. Evil Within 2. I don't know what this game needed to be better. Maybe like a better story or something. But it is very fun to play, and it's very cool to see like an open world horror game. I've never seen that before. And it's not fully open world, but it's very cool. I've not seen a game quite like it. It's a huge improvement over the first one. Boy, that first game. Flint Hook. I wish I played more of this game. Ultimately is where I was at. I really, really like it. Not as much as Scott loves it, but honestly, the greatest joy I could have had was bringing that game to Scott. And What Remains of Edith Finch is super, super cool. It just didn't quite make it in this list. But I think if all of its moments were as good as its best moment, it would have easily made the list. But it's just kind of like up and down all over the place. But it's still totally worth playing. 2 hours well spent, and it's a very, very good game. Those are my honorable mentions. Number 10. Any guesses? Any takers? Bottom of the list.
No, I don't know.
Metroid Samus Returns.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that right.
They made a Metroid game in 2017. It only took them 6 years.
And it was like kind of okay.
It was great. It's a very good Metroid game. I'm gonna spoil something at the end here. I don't know if anybody really cares about spoilers for Metroid Samus Returns.
Because isn't that essentially just Metroid 2?
It's essentially just Metroid 2, but they added some stuff into it. At the end, you fight Ridley.
So it's like Metroid 2 Golden.
Yeah, it's like Metroid 2 Gold Edition. It's a remake, you know. You fight Ridley, which is cool. I kind of thought they were going to do something like that. But it's a really fucking crazy intense boss fight. It's bonkers, honestly. And they do something different with how that game ends too, where you can kind of like after you get the baby Metroid, which can like clear out these specific weird obstacles for you, you can then like go back down into the world and keep exploring. And like with the baby Metroid, and it can get you through certain things and it'll attack enemies and stuff. Which is cool. It looks great, it feels great. It actually like runs super well on 3DS on my original slow bad 3DS. It's not bad 3DS. It's good. It's got Animal Crossing colors on it. It's fine. But yeah, I like, you know, I Metroid 2 is fine, but this game is great, and it was a great reminder of how like when a Metroid game nails it like really nails it. Whereas I've been playing all these Metroidvanias since fucking 2011 when I played Other M. and I've had like different feelings all over the map, from like Symphony of the Night to Ori and the Blind Forest and things like that. I would still say something like Ori, which is like handcrafted and original, is better, but Samus Returns is just like, boy, Metroid games are very, very good. And it was just a great reminder of that. Very excited for Metroid Prime 4, just excited for Metroid again, and it's good to just finally get a 3DS Metroid game with 3D graphics, but it's on a 2D plane. Literally all I've ever wanted for the 20 years that the 3DS has been out, and they finally did it. And it's excellent, and you should play it. Highly recommended. Even if you know what the final boss is, it doesn't matter, because I will say, like, you fight the Queen Metroid before you fight Ridley. Queen Metroid is like way easier than I thought it would be, like way easier than I remember it being. But outside of that, it's still really good. You guys should play that. Hey guys, you remember your 3DSs?
No.
You should play Metroid Samus Returns.
I probably won't.
I know. At least you're honest with me.
It just makes you feel good to say it.
Yeah. Number 9, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Still made the list. Never
Hey,
forget.
man, I respect that game.
That game's really good. I really, really liked it. I loved it even. And I was not expecting to love it. I think was the big takeaway. It like really surprised me in a lot of ways.
Resident Evil 9?
Resident Evil 7. VII.
Okay.
Yo, if Resident Evil 9 was on this list, though, now we're talking. No, I mean, like, I like first-person horror games. I really love PT, as you guys know. And I think that was on my Game of the Year list that year as well. And I really liked Evil Within, but the things that Resident Evil 7 nails in its atmosphere are just like really, really awesome, really incredible. It also has a little bit of that Metroid hinge to it. Like you were talking in the bonus content Nabeshin about how you finished it this week. Like that stuff where you get the snake key, I think is what it is, at the end, is really cool because you're kind of going back through all these different areas, and like it's really clever because it makes this uneasy feeling in areas that you've been in before, but now you're like seeing different aspects of them. And it kind of brings you back to that I don't know what's around each corner feeling. And I really like that. And then there's like some fucking creepy moments where bodies fall from the ceiling and whatnot. Like there are total fair issues with it. Like all the enemies, the molded, are pretty much all the same or very similar, and they're not like super fun to fight. But I thought all the boss fights were really cool. I thought the way it plays out kind of like a Metroid game, like where you're getting new weapons and abilities that allow you to access new areas and new keys that allow you to get to new areas is cool. And you know, from what little I've played of the original Resident Evil remake, it definitely has shades of that and shades of something new and shades of PT, and it's a great mix. Plus that game, like just like the whole back half of it is super surprising. I didn't expect all of the stuff that happens on like the boat or the mines. It's crazy. I'm very excited.
Yeah, the end of that game was very different.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I thought it was weird in a good way.
Me too.
So I'm really excited to kind of see where Resident Evil goes from here. I know like this game didn't sell as well as they wanted it to, but I hope they stick with.
It's still pretty good.
It did. It still did well. It just.
I mean, nothing's going to be Resident Evil 5 for them ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
For better and for worse.
For better and for worse. But I hope like they, you know, clearly like this game was made on a smaller budget and it took a lot more risks. And I think it panned out really well. Like I think the game itself is excellent. So I hope they do cool stuff with Resident Evil going forward. So I haven't played the DLC yet, any of it, and I'd like to at some point.
And the Zoe DLC is real good.
Okay.
Get that Joe Baker.
Yeah. I've heard stuff about Joe Baker and punching crocodiles. So that sounds all right to me. The setting is also really good. Like the bayou is a cool setting. Number 8, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. It's the less you say about Danganronpa V3, the better. This game is like when I finished it, I had such a sense of closure that I like totally forgot about this game. And when I was like going through my games, I'm like, yeah, Danganronpa should probably be on that list. Like I had such a great time with it. There's definitely, it's not as special to me as the first one. I don't think will stick with me quite as much as that one because I kind of had an expectation going into how weird it gets at the end and everything. I like someone had told me a thing and that made me kind of sitting there waiting, anticipating it the whole time. But it's very good. It's such a good close to that trilogy. I don't know where you're at in it, Tony, but that game's
I put a lot more time into Nier than I have into Danganronpa, and you already know what my life has been like recently, so it's almost zero time.
Yeah, I gotcha. Game's bonkers. Even like after that first chapter where you're like, okay, I guess fucking anything's possible. It sets this tone and then just follows through with it. All the way to the end where it's just all over the goddamn map. It's still Danganronpa. The best part about Danganronpa is the fact that it assumes that you've played Danganronpa 1 and 2 and it just fucks with you the whole time. And it's smart and it's well written and it's well translated. There's like some weird political commentary in there. The characters are great and the characters all have their own kind of twists and turns where you don't expect where they're going. It's very cool.
Cool.
I'm excited for you to play it, Tony.
Yeah, I really like. That's one of the games that I really want to spend more time with.
Yeah. So. Number 7, Pyre. Pyre was a game like the more time I got away from it, the more like it sank into me how cool it was. Are any of you gonna play Pyre?
No.
I want to, but
Maybe
eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah, at this point, it's at the same point as Neo.
Okay. Can I talk about it? Can I spoil it? Or are you guys
Sure.
So like the whole crux of Pyre is, you're doing these rites, and at some point after you've done a certain amount of rites, you get to go to this very northern mountain, and you get to perform what is called a liberation rite. And you anoint one of your party members to be liberated. If you win the rite, that person is liberated. They're taken down from like the Badlands that you're in back up to the Commonwealth, the world that you are all kind of banished from. If you lose that match, the person anointed from the other team is liberated. And you kind of meet like this main character, Sandalwood, toward the end of your first run toward liberation, right? And he explains to you, he's like, I want to stop the Commonwealth's government. Like, I want an uprising against the Commonwealth banishing people down here to, the Badlands. And because like the system of like, if you can read in that game, like it's against the law to read, so you're banished, and like that's your player character is a reader, and that's the whole thing. So you're sending these people up, you're going through these endless cycles of rights over and over again to a liberation rite, and liberating more and more people so as they can cause a coup and an uprising in the world above. And depending on if you lose liberation rights, which I did lose one, and if you win and which characters you send up will affect how that end story plays out. And it's just so cool. I've never really, it's very like visual novel-y in that regard. Like there's so many branching paths, but all of the aesthetic toward that, all of the feeling toward that, like when I lost the second liberation right and someone else was liberated, I was fucking pissed. Like I like had to put the controller down and walk away. But like you then sit down and have this conversation with Sandalwood, and he's like, we had to anticipate that this could happen. And he like gives you this speech about how this doesn't mean it's all over, that we can keep going. It's just like the understanding of the tone of that game and the way it meshes with the story and everything that happens in that game is like fucking awesome. It's incredible, honestly. And then as the credits play, the two bard characters that you kind of meet along the way in that story sing a song about your story, and they sing a song of who you liberated and who was liberated, and it's like different depending on all the different things that happen in that game. And it's just like such a great end note to it. It's a very cool game, and Pyre is like, that's why I said it's unlike anything I've played. Kind of like another game on my list. It's just very rad, and I could see there is a reason to play through Pyre and lose every right just to see what happens, and that's cool. And I just wonder what that looks like. So, Pyre's a good game. Number 6, Destiny 2. You guys heard about Destiny? I know a lot of people are not happy with Destiny right now for fair reasons. But my time with Destiny 2 was so fun. Just like with the original Destiny, where Tony and I like banded together and played so much of that game together. We had that same experience with Destiny 2. I played Destiny 2 so much with so many different people. Like our weird ragtag group of raiders, Tony, like was like, that's the fact that we all got together and finished that together was like really important to me.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Destiny 2 is like such a social game in a way that I don't have a lot of games like that. I don't have a Discord where I kind of sit and play games with folks. Like Destiny 2 is
I can provide you with these resources.
I know, but that's not super my thing, but
yeah.
Destiny 2 is the game that lets me get out there and kind of do that and scratches that itch for me. And we got to play with Greg Miller, we got to raid with him. I played Destiny 2 with like all different assortment of people. And yeah, it's a very cool game. I really like its improvements over the first one. I like how the guns feel still. It just shoots real good. And I like the look of it. I like the new worlds. I like the story a lot. I had a great time with the 100+ hours I put into Destiny 2 on PS4, so much so that I got it on Xbox One, and I put 20+ more hours into that version. Like, I really like Destiny, and it's still a very special game for me. And I'm hopeful that either the second expansion or the first major expansion that comes out, presumably next fall or this fall, really either fixes what people have problems with or just adds a new dynamic to it that works for me and works for a lot of other people. I did the Destiny 2 top 10 roundtable discussion, and me and the 3 other folks on that, Teddy and Jared and Chris, all like had as many bad things to say as we did good things, but we at the end of the day still really loved our time with Destiny 2, and I think it's a great game. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Top 5, number 5.
Number 5.
Getting into it. Cuphead, number 5. I think. Hey Tony, I think Cuphead should be higher. No, Cuphead's great. I finished it this week. I finally got through the final boss, and it was good to just kind of go back into that game and just fucking see that game moving with my eyes. It's bonkers. Jesus. Music's great. The aesthetic's great. I have a lot of nostalgia, much like Nabeshin, for like those old like 1930s cartoons. I think 1950s style stuff is more my tune, or 1940s, like weird like World War II era propaganda cartoons for sure. I'm familiar enough with it, with like rubber band or rubber tire style cartoons that like rubber hose, excuse me. That the like the kind of bounciness to the animation, the joy to it, the sound, like the weird kind of sounds like it's coming through a monophone. Like it's crazy, or gramophone. It's crazy, and it's like the attention to detail and the aesthetic and all of that, and the presentation is so good, and then also the game is very good. Like it's there was definitely like a time where I tried to go back to Cuphead after kind of like my first brush with it, and I got really frustrated with it. And then when I went back to it recently, kind of did all the third island and then did the 2 final bosses, I was like, oh yeah, like I just need to be in the right headspace of like, I'm going to die a lot. Like that's okay. Like I don't need to win every time, but I just like that feeling of like going through a fight and like you're learning the different parts of it and you're getting better at each different part each time is such a rewarding feeling, and Cuphead like zones in on that rewarding feeling so well. And like we talked about on the show throughout the year, like the ends slate where it tells you like which phase of the fight you are in is like one of the best. Like I've not played a boss rush game with that in it. Like you kind of are aware of that in a game like Fury, which is another boss rush game that I like quite a bit. But the way Cuphead presents it to you is super smart and super simple, and super effective, as you would say in Pokemon. So yeah, Cuphead is just it's the total package. I think there are some stinker boss fights in it, maybe like 2 bad ones. I really did not like the final boss fight. It took me way too long, and it was not super fun, I thought. But it more than makes up for it with like the Medusa Snake Lady ocean fight, or the King Dice boss fight. Like there's so many awesome fights in that game. And I went to my death tally. I had like 497 deaths at the end of it, which was so much less than I expected. Honestly, I thought I was like cleared 1,000, no problem. But yeah, Cuphead is really cool. It's got Scott Guthier written all over it. I don't know if you've played that game at all yet, but
Nope.
It's fucking rad. Number 4. Tales of Berseria, Never Forget, January 2017. This game is fucking amazing, and I love it dearly. And it's full of tons of anime garbage bullshit. And that's totally a fair kind of criticism of it. But it is also like one of the best playing Tales games. Like the combat system, it is so good.
I need to play it still.
You do?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that game until like you just said it.
Yeah, it's on PC, so it is worth seeking out.
The thing is, like, that's Tales games are not the kind of games that I want to sit in front of my PC and play. It's like a couch game for me.
That's fair. They're very much like, because it's longer, you kind of have to chew on it for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some of the best, it's 6 characters, and they're 6 of the strongest characters that series has seen in a long time, I think, because like there's no weak link in Tales of Berseria, which I haven't had that experience with a Tales game since Tales of Vesperia, which is still my favorite in the series. But like Berseria channels all the best parts about that, like the kind of antagonistic hero, right? Like there's not a good person that you're playing as. Velvet is like such a tortured hero that in such a clever way that you see that manifest throughout the game. And like there's like this one scene with her where like maybe she can be good again, and then they just like rip that out of your hands in the fucking most brutal way, and it's like, boy, fuck all of this. It's just like it makes you feel for her in a way. Artorias is like such a good villain because like he thinks he's right, and in a way he is not wrong, but he's a total asshole. And it's just like the dynamic between those two, and like when they come face to face is really great. And then like honestly, like you kind of know where things are going in Tales if you've played Tales of Zestiria, but the way that the characters get to those realizations is really cool. And the way you kind of resolve that story is really cool. And it is like a high flying adventure. You're mostly hanging out with a fucking bunch of pirates the whole time. It's got some awesome side quests and secrets in it. I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, so I don't mind saying it. There's a really weird side quest where Jude and Mila from Tales of Zillia show up. And you can fight them as like an optional boss fight.
Jude's pretty cute.
He's very cute. And so you fight each of them individually, and then you can fight them together, and they'll do the link thing from Tales of Zillia.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking impossible. That's like one of the post game secret bosses, and it's really cool. It's just like, man,
that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. Tales of Berseria, very good. It's it's got its issues, but like getting this series on track, it's the first time for this new director. Like Baba wasn't involved in this game, and he's been the director of that franchise forever. But it feels different. It feels fresh. like I'm super excited for whatever happens next. This is the first time like a Tales game has come out also, and they haven't just or have already announced the next Tales game. So like we don't know what that studio is working on right now. Presumably it is a new Tales game, but I don't know what it looks like or what the hero looks like, and maybe it'll have a worldwide release. I don't know. Berseria is very good. If you were at all interested in that franchise, I think this is a great place to jump in. And it is the best Tales game in 8 years. Easy. So Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, number 3. Hellblade is a very, very good
Another game that I really need to play.
It's very good. That is another game. I've never played anything like it. I think I've been like hearing some folks talk about it. I think there is like a argument for like, oh, it's it's very linear and like Uncharted-esque, but like there is so much more agency I think put in the player's hands in this game versus that. It is a lot of like walking through environments and seeing just how gorgeous this game looks and kind of like having this story dictated to you, but the mechanism by which it is told to you, the moments where it like changes how it plays and how it feels. Like you played through this pretty recently, Nabeshin. Like, one that stood out to you was there are these series of trials that you have to do, and one of them it's like pitch black, and you have this voice kind of like comforting you as you wander through this darkness. And it's just like it's really powerful. It sits in your heart in a way that a lot of games haven't for me. And it's also like heart-wrenching because like Senua is hearing these voices in her head. Like she's also like, I don't want to like denigrate it, but she's also like ill to an extent, like, and they lean into this mental illness, but they also lean into Senua as a character and the fact that she is a person with wants and needs and hopes and dreams and desires and with faults and successes, and she can try and succeed when she wants to. Like she's more than just a two-dimensional plane. They build her out in a really clever way, and like she's so the core of that game, and then it ends and it's bonkers. It's fucking crazy. Oh, it's very good. I talked to a lot about it on the show to you guys, like just the way that the voices kind of play in the gameplay. I thought all of the combat stuff, like I didn't think there was too much of it. I thought all of it was very tense and rewarding and felt very good. So, I like that game a whole lot. The final two, everybody knows what these two games are, but. And everybody presumably knows what order they're into, but
yeah.
Number 1, Neo.
Yep, Neo took it right at the end too. Number 2, Persona 5 is a video game that is
okay. Well, no, I fucked up the order.
It's a video game that is incredible. It's close, like these two games are close. I've been thinking a lot about Persona 5 recently. It's taken all of my self-control not to just go start a new game of Persona 5. I've been trying to play other stuff.
You should do it.
I want to do it. I might do it after we finish all of our Game of the Year stuff. Just because, like, man.
Did you platinum that game yet?
I haven't.
Should.
Persona 5 is so good. It is just, like, making a sequel to, a beloved franchise is not easy. I think they nailed it. I think like there are totally things I could get nitpicky on. Like maybe the cast of characters didn't hit with me the way it did with some other people, but that's kind of like not the point, right? Like Persona 4 was the game that came to me in the time that it needed to come to me, and I got it, and it resonated exactly on the line, and it was perfect, right? Persona 5 was as close to that as it could have come. But the best part, as someone who's been a fan of Persona since 3, has seen like all the people that came to Persona the first time through 5, like Barrett Courtney, this was his first Persona game and he fucking adores it, and just seeing how it affected him and resonated with him, even through the madness of insane Japanese bullshit at the end, is like, yeah, like it doesn't matter that you fight God at the end or whatever in Persona 5. You were on that ride, like you were fully committed to it. And like that's just like few games can say that. And yeah, like Michael Huber is another great example of like Persona 5 like really spoke to him, and like Ryuji really spoke to him. And Nabeshin, obviously a key example. Like that game hit all the notes for him. It's got the best soundtrack of 2017.
Agree.
It has some of the most best style of 2017, and it is just a fucking it is both the great characters, the great dungeon crawling, the great personas, and the great schedule and day to day that you want from a Persona game. It's excellent. It's amazing. I love it deeply. Fuck, it's a very good game. And you all should play it.
Yep.
Everyone should play it.
Everyone should play that game.
Except for Scott.
Except for Scott.
Hates fun.
Scott does hate fun.
No, just the anime bullshit.
That's fair.
It's just you can't separate those words. You have to put them together.
Fun and anime bullshit do go together. It's true.
Well, no, anime bullshit is not one word.
Jesus.
Anime bullshit, one word. My number one, my personal game of the year of 2017, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't know what more I need to say about this game, but I will say
the game was just all right.
The game was incredible.
It's real good.
I like that game. You know, I know a lot of people had the experience that I had with that game with other kinds of games, which is fine. But Breath of the Wild was the first time kind of like walking around a world that I just wanted to be in it, right? Like that I felt my eye getting drawn to something and then I just want to go there, right? Like I've talked about my struggles with open world games a lot in the past. And like, for example, Grand Theft Auto, one of the most infamous open world games, terrible example in this case, I understand. But like, that's a game where I'm like, I want to go from point A to point B. I don't give a shit about anything else. And I just want to see the story and be done with it. But I don't care about the city. The city doesn't feel like a place to me. I'm disconnected, right? Mm-hmm. Or even something like The Witcher 3, where it's like I'm in this town and I'm spending time in this town and I like all these characters. And then when I leave this town, I'm just kind of like working my way to the next area where I can spend some time. I'm not like enjoying my time going through. Well, I'm enjoying my time, but I'm not like sitting and looking at every little thing. But with Legend of Zelda, it wasn't about point A to point B. It was about the middle part. It was about the line in the line segment. Like it was about stopping and looking at everything or seeing a bombed out town and just walking around it. It was about listening to the little tones of the music. It was about all the little shrines hidden and seeing my eye kind of get drawn to them from the color schemes. It was about standing at the top of the tower and looking out at an expanse and being like, I want to go there, and just going there and not stopping to think about it, not thinking about it like a checklist. It was about going to Lorelyn Village, a village that you never have to visit, you never have to go to, and there's no story reason to go there, but going there because you want to go there and because you heard somebody talk about it, and you get there, and it's like this little slice of the world that is like totally unique, and the people in there look different and act different than anywhere else, and it's beautiful, and it's this beachside town, and it's got this vibe to it that nowhere else in that world has. It's about all of that for me, and on top of that, like sneaking up on Bokoblins, finding different ways to fuck up some Bokoblins, like fighting a Lionel for the first time, climbing a mountain for the first time, seeing my first dragon at Linear Peak, and doing all the shrines and finding all the memories and living through Link's kind of weird ghostly presence in that world. Like all of it just knocked it out of the park for me. And I understand like it didn't work for a lot of the people on this podcast, but or you know, you had different issues with it, but like this game was 2017 for me. It was just the embodiment of everything I liked about games this year, and I don't know if I've had as good an experience with a world as I have with Breath of the Wild ever in my life, and that's including things like Persona 5 and Persona 4. And yeah, it's just that Hyrule is just like a place that I just want to be, and it's a very good game. That's my top 10.
All right, fantastic.
We did it.
Yeah, we got through one. Now it's time for a break.
Now we take a break now.
I kind of need it.
Do you need a break?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be gone
Alright, bye,
for
Scott.
like 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll go
Sorry.
through everybody else's top 10. You're fine, Scott. We will be back in just a little bit.
Choo choo choo.
I'll fill up my water in that case. Getting chilly.
Also, just saying, I don't dislike Cuphead as a game. It might have come across as that. I don't have any bad feelings towards that game. I think it's cool.
You're saying this out of context.
I know, but like I don't know because like I was
for the
saying earlier,
listeners
like,
right now. I'm saying it to them.
This is we're on break.
Yeah, but we are recording this still. I'm just saying.
It's not live though.
But wouldn't we release it live?
What? Why would we release the break?
Because when we do the backup or something. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff, man.
Anyway, yeah, but no, I like I was thinking about it and I felt like because when Alex mentioned Cuphead and I was like, I don't know if I came across as like not liking that game, but I don't not like Cuphead. I think it's cool.
You're fine. Whatever. Who cares?
Dude, I care.
What did you think of my list, Nabeshin?
It's cool. That's pretty much what I expected.
Same.
I feel like Metroid was a good surprise.
No, you like the other game, man. You love that game more than most people do.
Yeah, it's true. Fuck the haters. Thank God I had emergency Pringles for Scott's emergency departure.
Rumor for Switch firmware 5.0 showing party chat, themes, folders, cloud storage, and more.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Cloud storage.
Cloud storage would be lit, though. I feel like that's also weirdly the most doable of those things on Switch.
You would hope so.
Yeah. Like download.
I'm gonna repeat this for you, Alex. I don't hate Cuphead at all. I think it's a cool game.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if I came across like that earlier.
You did a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
I didn't mean it like that though. I meant like my issue with that whole situation was like the way that it was being argued rather than why it was being argued or the context of the argument.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Also, when Cuphead won Best Style, I was legitimately furious.
I didn't hear that part, so
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
I already had most of it spoiled for me. But
Yeah, that's why I didn't. Yeah.
we were fine.
Anyway, yeah, it stole it from Persona 5, and I was like,
Yeah. Cuphead has great style.
It does. I agree, but yeah.
Persona 5's got fucking style.
Yes.
I was gonna say a thing and I forgot it as soon as I opened my mouth.
No PUBG on there, Alex?
No, because I only played the Xbox version.
That's fair. I mean, it's still a version of the game.
A poor version of the game. I tried playing it again today, and I cannot get over the rubber banding, which makes me sad.
No, really, it's still bad.
Not all
Yeah.
my matches have rubber banding in them, so I've played like 30 hours of that game though. I thought about doing an honorable mention, but I figured like I'll just talk about it in the Game of the Year show.
I really liked the desert map. It's really like a good change of pace for that game.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that like it a lot. I know a lot of people that don't like it at all.
Oh, the desert map?
Yeah.
I can see why. Because it's like if your issue with that game is like it being huge and not finding anybody or something like that's like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
That's
That map is way too big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. It's like, for example, Scott doesn't like it.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
Um,
I played some last night. I had some time to play like 3 matches, and I played on the desert map twice, and that was my second and third time ever playing on the map. And yeah, it's too big.
But I know NATO loves it. But he lives in a desert, as far as I know.
I lived in a desert.
That's what Australia is like, I believe.
Honestly, I was walking around on the desert map. I was like, this looks like fucking Las Vegas.
Especially all these bombed out buildings.
Yeah. The strip has never been the same.
What did Scott say he had to do?
He didn't say what he had to do.
Right.
Had to take a monster shit.
He had to choke somebody
Monster
out
dump.
and take a monster dump.
And like at the same time, perform a monster dunk.
And then you had to dunk on somebody as well.
Magfest looks like it's fun.
Is it Fez?
Magfest.
Oh, Magfest. Oh, sure.
Some people having fun there.
I didn't realize it was happening right now.
Neither did I. Till I saw Danny O'Dora's video yesterday.
What are your thoughts on the KF prom, Alex? Something that's like doesn't seem appealing out at first look.
Here's my thing. I don't like period parties in general. I don't like costume parties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I've been invited to many a Halloween party. I've dressed up once going to one there. I had an okay time, but the costume in my IMHO didn't add a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Here's the reason why, Alex. You probably didn't go dressed as the slutty maid.
it's true. I should have dressed as a slutty maid.
Yeah, then it would have greatly affected your experience there.
Here's the thing. I know. God, I sound like Scott. Here's the thing. I know once I get there, I'd have a great time though.
Exactly. That's more or less what I'm thinking about, because like everything I look at it is just like an immediate no, like every reaction in me. But it's more of like
You're on Irrational Passions podcast. What's up?
Oh, okay, never mind then. Have a good night. See you then.
I love you, Roger. Bye. Go ahead. He called me.
yeah, you're fine. Like everything about it just seems like a no, like just like as an output, and just like everything's surrounding around it. It's just a matter of like, I know when I'm there, I'll be fine, but it's just like just thinking about it like constantly is just like, I don't know, it will be worth it, even though I know it will totally be worth it. It's just like, it's one of those type of things.
No,
for
no,
me.
I totally.
I'm
that's where
fucked
I
up.
was at. Yeah. Like I was in the exact same boat though. It's just like, I don't know if you have any good prom memories.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I have good memories, but I'm still not going.
Yeah. I don't like.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back, Scott.
It seems like this in the topic is just like it seems like I feel like
Can I pause you for a half second, Nabeshin? This is important.
Sure.
Alex, how do you have no good prom memories? Do you remember what we did at senior prom?
We had to I didn't say I had no good prom memories. I just said it's not like the best time of my life. It was.
I don't know. I think you and I getting dirty on the dance floor was a pretty high up there on best times of my life.
It was very good.
Anyway, continue, Nabeshin. I just had to bring that up.
Oh, you're fine. But I feel like if knowing myself, if I find an out for whatever side reason that might be, like it'll probably be something I'll actually take. And it's like there's a lot of fear of going into it. Like I know I'll be fine when I'm there, but it's like it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of inner demons I'm dealing with right now about it. That's all.
Yeah, no, I totally get that too. It's just it is a weird.
It's very forced, not forced in like, oh, they're forcing it to like stay relevant or something like that. But more like it's it's too forceful of a thing. This is not like a party type of thing. It's more of like you do this or you're not being part of the party. And if you don't do this, you're shitty not being part of the party. So it's like this is one of those type of things.
Yeah. Also, like the 80s, 90s.
For reference, what am I walking into?
We were talking about the kind of funny live 4 is called Kind of Funny Prom, and it is like an 80s, 90s prom party. Tuxes, dresses, the whole shebang. So if Tony was there, we'd be dancing.
I have some bad news for you.
I know. Sorry. I feel you, Nabeshin. I think like that could be one of those things where it's worth it to go to San Francisco, but it's not worth it to go to Kind of Funny Prom though.
Exactly. Like if I go there, which I totally want to for Barrett, Alyssa, Griffin, Dan,
like that week that we'll be there is still gonna be great. So
yeah, so like I'll probably be there, but I probably won't be at Kind of Funny.
That's okay. I don't think there's any shame in that. But I will say, Jacob Bryant would dance with you.
Yeah.
He would actually just hold you close to him. All right, you guys ready?
Scott, dare I ask?
What happened?
Yeah.
You could, but I mean, like, you wouldn't. You would have said, "I'd rather have not known this."
Okay.
But the very short story is I had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Called it.
No, they call it.
No, I'm joking.
Normally I would have held it, but
listen, man, you don't have to hold anything for me.
Nope.
Let's get going. We're back. Hey, welcome back.
Scott, go.
Scott, do you
want
to do your list?
My list. All the way down at number 10, we have.
Okay.
Oh, well, by the way, not enough games for an honorable mention.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's fair.
All the way down at number 10, we have nothing.
You played GTA 5 this year?
This time it's actual nothing.
Okay.
And starting that list down at a good number 7, we have nothing.
Still nothing.
This year's its top 5.
Okay.
All right.
I could have done honorable mentions. I was just lazy because that was the top 5.
Yeah,
sure.
Listen, man, you do you.
But at number 5, we have Destiny 2.
Hell yeah.
Worst game Scott played that came out this year.
Making the list.
All right. I don't think I have to say too much about this one. We played it. It was fun for a while, but really it lasted for about 3 weeks. And then there was a hard drop off because everyone was done already.
Sounds like Destiny 2.
Yeah, we all hit the gear cap and then we were done so.
And it was mostly because we played a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot of Destiny
during those 3 weeks. So
hey man,
it definitely deserves to be on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And
let's throw this factoid out.
I'd say the
Scott,
thing about
I played the story mode from start to finish in that game 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
That's how much
I do want to say this. I do want to say this about the list that I have. Had I played more than these 5 games, because I guess I could have probably thrown a couple more games on there. These top 5 would not have changed for this year.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
That's good.
And as you start to hearing the rest of the list, you'll probably understand why. Because at number 4 we have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Okay,
that is now officially out.
Yeah,
that's a good video game.
Coming in qualifying for this year.
That has been my go-to multiplayer game for this year.
Yeah, and it's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing you guys talk about that on this show was again the first time I'd ever heard of it. Super confusing. And then just as the picture kind of forms in your head, it's like, boy, this makes total sense though. This is a great idea.
Yeah. The other thing is my go-to multiplayer game for this year is because the other MMO I've been playing functions more of a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that statement still stands.
Shout out to Black Desert Online one time.
At number 3, we have Flint Hook. This game, Oh man, this game.
I'm so glad you like this game, Scott.
Yeah, because it's the first roguelike that depends. It's the first roguelike that depends mostly on you and not what you get.
Mm-hmm.
The like for example, Binding of Isaac, sure, you could go through with the worst character and still do well. The big issue here is you can just as easily get fucked over by rooms that force you to have a certain move speed before you get hit.
Mhm.
You can get fucked over by rooms where because you didn't have a certain stat because you couldn't kill something fast enough, you are taking damage. And the only way out of that, which was it's generally these things don't happen, but we're just assuming you have the worst stats. That's not possible. With this game, it's set up that you don't need any perks to go from start to finish. It is all based on how well you play the game.
Yeah, the tool set that they gave you, like the slowdown time, the gun, all the abilities that they in the hook that like they're so simple, but they're so good.
Right, and then the perks do make a huge difference in terms, but it's inches, not miles.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Flint Hook's a great fucking video game. I hope people play.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because after I still haven't beaten the game yet, but I'm enjoying where its story goes.
Yeah. Do you know your Steam counter on that?
You mean my how long I played it?
Yeah.
I can. Give me 10 seconds. I can go ahead and look at it.
I can give you more.
Yeah, hold up. We have 84 hours.
God damn. I put like
Played.
12 hours into it, so
Yeah. That is more time than I'm pretty sure I put into Zelda, which is my number 2.
Number 2.
Yep.
Give me something here.
The whole thing with me being down on it earlier. I mean, I've said this before. It's me being down on it was to take it from the high 11 people put it at down to around a 9, because I think that was more fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But at the same time, I went ahead and I dropped Flint Hook for this game. Then I played it to finish before I picked anything else back up.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because I had a window of limited time with it, because I just kept wanting to play it. Because I could have easily gone ahead and I could have beaten it, I want to say 10, 15 hours sooner than I did. But instead I was running around seeing how much grass I could cut. Blowing up the trees with bombs, even though I never actually used the wood.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah. It's a special game. I'm glad. That's a good way to put it too. Like Scott, you very infrequently will actually stay with a game until like front to back. So
normally I pick up something other way along the way and I'll finish the game.
Yeah.
But or I will upfront say, no, I'm not finishing this game.
Yeah. Very true.
But generally it's I play games alongside one another.
Yeah.
And then number 1 on this list, Super Mario Odyssey.
God damn.
I'm guessing this is a bit of a surprise here.
I'm a little surprised.
So this game is a lot similar to Zelda. A lot similar. The big difference is Mario Odyssey has levels instead of a big world.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why this went over Zelda is because when I went back to start playing them after I had beaten them, I went to Mario instead of Zelda.
Okay.
Every time I picked up the Switch.
You bought a Switch for Mario too.
Yep. There's also that.
Do you still have like your issues with how it feels?
The big thing about that is it's frustrating that the game, with how it feels, it is more frustrating that it was so close to hitting that perfect game for me that it just needed just that little centimeter left. It had so little left to go on any front to be like a perfect 10 game for all intents and purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But it just wasn't there.
Okay. I'd be very curious to have you and Barrett Courtney sit down and talk about that game, because he's like chipped away playing that game to like a science. Like, he is better at playing that video game than I think anyone is at like doing like actual real life tasks. Like he trolls Blessing and Alex from OK Beast by like
to give you an example, it's on the moon level.
Okay.
You have a very reduced gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you go ahead and you wall jump, and you can wall jump way higher than you were when you started. But guess what you can't do? You can't go back onto the wall and do a wall jump higher. It stops you from doing that until you are at least a full character length below where you started. Mm-hmm. You just hug up against the wall and you sit there until you get that distance, and then you start sliding down the wall again.
Okay.
It's stuff like that is relevant in other aspects of the gameplay. That it's like, why would you're on the moon level? Just let me do the infinite wall jump. Let me have a little bit of fun with this.
Mm.
And in other aspects, it feels like you should be able to do something. This is not going on. This is excluding the infinite hat jump, where of course they're going to stop you from landing on your hat more than once, so that you can't basically fly. But in other aspects of the game, after you do a wall jump and then bounce off of one of those, let's just call them the flagpoles, not flagpoles, tents. Not
flagpole is fine. Like, I get the.
They are called something.
Okay.
I can't. Umbrellas. There we go. After you bounce off an umbrella, you do a wall jump. Sometimes it prevents you from landing on your hat when you go for that jump.
Okay.
And that's just weird.
Other than
it's weird stuff like that that exists in the characters that you control, and with just how Mario controls himself.
Okay, that's fair. Other than like your kind of stuff with it, though, how you feel?
Other than that, like if it didn't have that, it would be 10 out of 10. Perfect game.
Have you done a lot of the end game stuff?
I believe I went ahead and I did almost all of Peach's Castle. I'm missing the hidden art for that one, which basically it's you take a look at the art, and then you go somewhere else to go get the star.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that, like the screenshot.
Or is it you have to find the hidden art elsewhere? Then
you find the art to the Mushroom Kingdom in another level. I'm sorry, but your art is in another castle.
Okay, that makes a little more sense now.
Yeah. All right, it's a good 5, solid 5.
Solid.
Who wants to go next?
Tony.
Dawson.
Wow. Okay. How about you guys decide amongst yourself? We'll wait. No, it's fine.
I said Tony first.
He did say Tony first, actually.
I mean, I guess I could go.
Feed me, Tony.
What do you want to eat?
Fill me with video
What are you hungry
games.
for?
Give me that number 10, and then do the honorable mentions.
Okay, number 10, Danganronpa.
Damn.
All right, honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions, Stellaris.
Okay.
Didn't come out this year, but Scott and I played a lot of Stellaris this year, and it was great. That game is fun.
Yeah,
that game seems really cool.
It's fun, dude. Like, you like Civ, so you're gonna fucking love Stellaris if you ever play it. And you can be robots, so you know it's lit.
Robot Master Race, man.
That's the newest DLC that just came out. I don't know. Have they showed off anything new recently, Scott?
They have done a few updates, but they've generally been performance in other updates.
So nothing, no gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Scott telling us
It's been a little bit since we've played,
Yeah, right.
but I really like. I always kind of like catch myself wanting to go back to it, but I don't.
Yeah,
really,
unfortunately,
like,
they just went back into Civ.
Yeah, so our group is kind of preoccupied. But I don't know, like from picking that game up earlier this year and like just like jumping in a game with Scott while he kind of taught me how to play to like our sprawling Empire games where we like conquer the entire universe. It's cool. That game is a lot of fun. But it didn't come out this year. Other honorable mention, Osu. One of my fucking core games. I play that all the time, and it's great. I'm getting better at it. Still suck, but I'm all right. And I don't know. It's just like a mainstay for me. It's always something I can have a good time messing around with.
Okay.
Also, it came out like way too long ago. Not even close to 2017. Last one, Black Desert Online. Honorable mention. That game. Whew.
Don't even get you started, huh?
Played a lot of Black Desert Online this year, guys. You want to know how much Black Desert Online I played this year?
No.
I don't.
All right, well,
I don't. I know
Okay.
because you told me not too long ago.
Well, what did I tell you last time?
It was definitely something over 1,000.
Oh, you want to know what it is actually?
No.
Dude, it's closer to 4,000.
My current time in Black Desert Online,
I distinctly said no.
4,166 hours.
1,166.
No, 4,166
Oh, 4,000.
hours.
Hold on to that, Nabeshin. How many days? I don't want to know. I just keep.
Divide 4,166 by 24.
Tell me about Danganronpa because we just grazed over it.
It's on there because I don't have like a lot of games that I felt super strongly about from this year, probably because of the 4,166 hours of Black Desert Online.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. It's I'm really having a good time with it. And it kind of ties into my number 9, which is Nier Automata. Between the two, I think I'm enjoying Nier more than Danganronpa at this point. I'm giving it a little bit more time as well. But I equally like both of those games, and I just kind of wish that I had more time to get through them because they deserve that. I want to give that to them. They're very good games, and I genuinely I'm having a good time with both of them. So number 7, Destiny 2.
Wait, number 8.
That game.
What was number 8?
Is good. Number 8 was that is it. Never mind. Destiny 2, number 8. They're not numbered. They're just in order. But anyway, Destiny is good. Like that game, we spent a lot of time playing it, but I can't get over the fact of how quickly my entire group of like 45 people that I was playing the game with all burnt out on it. When that happens in such a quick amount of time, I feel like there's something more to it. I think that there are a lot of poor design decisions made with the game, and it's really unfortunate. But all in all, a good experience. I had a lot of fun playing it with people. I had a lot of fun playing it by myself. I had a lot of fun with what was given to the player. I think that there was a lot good going for Destiny 2. I think it's beautiful. I think that a lot of the stuff in it is really good. I just had problems with it too, and that's what kept it down at 7. And the other thing is, like, I didn't care enough to buy the DLC. They didn't add enough to keep me interested as a customer and a player of the game to entice that purchase, even after I purchased the game for 2 consoles and reached maximum light on 2 consoles. And like I said before, played through the entire story of the game 9 times for 9 separate characters.
Okay, that is totally fair.
Number 7, Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is the best game on Nintendo Switch that I have played. I haven't yet played Mario Odyssey, and from what Scott is saying, I bet I'm going to enjoy it, even though I typically am not the Mario type of player. I think it's my favorite Mario
Sunshine
game is
shit. This is gonna be
that's exactly what I was going to say. My favorite Mario game is Mario Sunshine. It sounds like this game is really in that same vein, so I'm excited to see that.
What about 3D World?
I mean,
no. It doesn't.
was alright.
I mean, like as far as his enjoyment of that game.
I did really enjoy 3D World, mostly because I played it with my bros.
Damn bros.
With your boys.
With my boys, we put on cat suits. It was some hot cosplay action. You know, I'm all about the cosplay action. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zelda, it's like I enjoyed playing it. It was a good open world game, but it didn't have enough for me. Like I played it, I enjoyed it for a solid 15 hours, I guess, to be like generous. And in that time, I uncovered all of the map. I did a pretty hefty portion of all of the temples in the game. Zelda's memories. I did everything, all that stuff. And then I got to that point, and then I was like, okay, well, I got the Master Sword. I did everything. And then I was like, okay, time for me to go beat this game. And so I did. I went in, I beat the game, and I never played it again. It was good. I thought the ending was satisfactory as a payoff for the entire time I spent playing the game. I think I had more fun with the stuff that was not the story than I did with the story. I mean, except for one specific Zora man, and one specific dead Zora wife. The character. There's some pretty good characters in that game, which. And all, like, in my opinion, the way that game was designed, like, it is very surprising that it had good characters at all. So that any of the characters were good is kind of like amazing to me. So yeah, good game. There was some unexpected good things in it, and it did. I feel like it justified my Switch purchase. And in the entire rest of the year, there has been nothing that I cared about on Nintendo Switch that came out enough to play it. So, yeah, Zelda, pretty good.
All right. Number 6.
Number 6, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
That game is good, does stuff, and I'm not gonna fucking talk about it with you guys because you're all toxic.
We talked about it last week.
Number 5. I'm just saving it because I'm gonna have to talk about it later, and I don't want to get into it. Scott already knows. Yeah, that game is amazing. If you haven't played it, it's free. Check it out. It does some really cool stuff. Shakes up the format. It's worth your time.
I'll say
It's not worth the money.
I will say
it's worth the money. There's no money. It's free.
It was good last week on 259. Jarrett and Tony, who were both fans of that game, it was good for us to kind of talk a little bit about it in a more positive light versus the week before that, where Scott Nabeshin and I talked about it in a more negative light. It was good to get a different perspective on it. If people are curious, you can go listen to that. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm just one man. I'm sorry, God.
No man is an island or a literature club.
You're right. It can't be a club unless it has 4 people.
Apparently.
Yeah, so anyway, that game is really good for the price of free. There's a lot of cool stuff surrounding that game as well, which, while not directly a part of the game, arguably is directly part of the game, but in literally part of the game, technically not really a part of the game, does enhance that experience a lot for me. Games like that, games that shake up the formula of games like Doki Doki Literature Club, Undertale, things that do things in the more, I don't want to say meta because I feel like that sells it short, but that's the kind of game that really like ends up speaking to me on a different level. I don't know why, they just do. And that game hit a lot of those notes for me. So it was really, I thought it was also a complete surprise. Nabeshin just tweeted to me, "Hey, you should play this game so I don't have to." And I did, and I fucking loved it. And I was like,
I didn't say that.
You did. Later you said that. You're like, this is why I told you to do that.
Oh, Okay.
Anyway,
I don't remember what I fucking say.
That's a really good tweet there, Nabeshin.
Well, he didn't say that in his tweet. It was later. He was like, I only asked you to do that because it was something that I thought is worth one of us checking out, and I don't have time to do it, so I wanted you to do it.
That's what I said.
But
yes.
yeah, but I can shorthand I can put words in your mouth. Yeah, but there, anyway, it was a complete surprise that I had heard about, and unbeknownst to me, it had between the time that I saw, the first couple things people were saying about it, and then kind of put it out of my mind, and then Nabeshin saying something about it, had become this kind of more than a cult following on the internet, but everyone was talking about this game. All the streamers were getting into it. Every streamer that I have ever that I watch has played this game at this point and streamed it. I've watched a couple different ones do it,
Me included.
yeah, you're not really a streamer, so don't fucking boost your ego that much, my friend. But yes, even Alex has played this game, and I don't know, I felt like it was a game that you could only experience and you could only understand the experience by playing. So it was cool to be able to, just tell you guys, hey, you should check this out, have us all do that. And each of us really have a different experience with it. I think that plays to the, the quality of the game and really shows that that it is more than a simple, game made in fucking RPG Maker or whatever,
Hey man, I'm glad you liked it a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so we're ready for the big shakeup, number 5.
Number 5,
Friday the 13th.
I knew it'd make it.
That game, I did not expect to like it. I didn't even care. I don't watch movies. That's the thing about me. I very, very rarely watch any movies at all. I've watched some of the Friday the 13th movies, probably 2, and I don't remember anything about any of them.
dude.
Except for.
You understand this is your Evolve, right? You
No,
understand
no,
that, right? This is your asymmetrical multiplayer game that you're really into.
What's Evolve?
It's a great game, is what it is. 9 out of 10, IrrationalPod.com.
But here's the thing, I didn't like Evolve, but I do like the concept of asymmetrical multiplayer games. I think that it's cool to put one player in a position of power versus a bunch of different ones. One of my favorite mods in Halo 3 back in the day on Xbox 360, they fucking got that for Christmas, and the only game I had was Halo 3, which is fine. It was all the game you needed because it had every game in it. Was the zombies mode or the one the super zombie mode where there'd be one zombie super powerful who had to turn the entire rest of the players into zombies. Those kind of games, they're cool. I think that even as a person who doesn't know a lot about the Friday the 13th universe and the movie stuff and what happens in it, I didn't I had no idea who Tommy Jarvis even was. The experience that I had with that game, playing it for the first time at Extra Life with, surrounded by people who all were playing the same game, sitting next to Justin and having him as a person who's really into the game teach me everything that he knew about the game and how to be good at it. And then Justin and I having the opportunity to then be good at the game together and accomplish goals and also completely destroy Greg Miller.
Hey man,
was really fun.
Justin completely destroyed Greg Miller.
I just want to put it out there that I also beat Greg a couple times. And I know that everyone wants to put Justin on his pedestal for outrunning Greg by jumping through a window 7 times at the end of 20 minutes.
Listen, dude, it's all he had.
Hey, listen, but heads up, there's a well-known strat in that game that people try not to do, which is literally just lure Jason to follow you opposite sides of a couch, because there's no Jason in the game that can get to you if you just go around a couch and stay opposite of him the whole time.
That's great.
So it wasn't, anyone could do that, but I love Justin, and he did it in a stylish way, which I thought was great. I mean, it's fucking fire, Jason. What are you gonna do? But yeah, that game, I even since Extra Life, I've played not as much as I would like to. I haven't been able to really connect with Justin and his group that he was telling me about to get a couple games in. But we've played a couple times, and I've played solo. Every once in a while, I'll just hop in and play a game or two, and it's been a cool thing just to have, even though the matchmaking has kind of slowed down a bit, which is a little disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun experience. I think that the amount of time that I was able to give it was pretty much optimal for that game. I think it has problems, but it also it does it well, I think. And you get to I've actually been part of a group of killing Jason and everything, so that's also super cool. And that whole side of the strategic part of the game that you too.
Yeah.
That's the most unexpected thing I think on this list for me personally. I did not expect to like that game at all.
Yeah, that game's really cool. I agree.
So number 4, Neo. It was probably my pre-March game of the year, which is like game of the first fifth of the year.
Yeah, this year, that's not saying much though.
Yeah. That game, I really, really enjoyed playing that game when it came out. It's another one where like when I watched people playing the alpha or whatever it was, it might have been the beta when everybody was streaming it. I tuned into a stream one of my friends was running, and the first thing I saw about the game was the skill tree, and because I already like in my head just completely set it up to be all right. This is just Dark Souls, but like Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
like when I saw that giant skill screen, I was like, oh God, why did they gamify Dark Souls this much? Like, why did they add all these mechanics that don't need to be there? And how wrong I was, right? Like the skill tree, and it adds so much to the combat of that game in a unique way. It lets you have options that you wouldn't have had previously. It lets you do more things. It lets you choose how to play your weapon. Instead of like in Dark Souls, which I'm going to draw a lot of comparisons to Dark Souls because why wouldn't you? You choose a weapon in Dark Souls and you just get every ability for the weapon, and you in a way that makes it's good because it lets you have all skills, right? Like you pick up a weapon and you have all the tools at your disposal, but it also kind of takes away from a sense of progression. Once you get your weapon in Dark Souls, the only thing you're doing is upgrading it, or looking for a new weapon. In Neo, you get to choose which abilities you want to use because you're not going to be able to afford them all. You have 3 different stances, each with their own unique sets of abilities that you can pick which ones you like, which ones you don't. Only use the ones that you like and make them stronger. Also, you have ninja tools that you cannot give yourself access to. You could use a secondary weapon, give yourself any number of skills for that you need, and all of this magic stuff. And I feel like the game experience would have been cheapened if they had given you all skills. Like you just pick up a weapon, you have everything. I think that it would ultimately have hurt the quality of the game. Anyway, like there was they did some cool stuff with the formula of Dark Souls. They non-persistent world, I think was a solid choice. It wasn't my favorite thing about the game, but I think that the way that they executed on that was did a great service to the quality. They did do the thing where they recycle levels, and it makes sense that they would do that. But I think they did it in a way that is more than what I would have expected for it. Like they let you run backwards through the levels and do some different stuff, have you fight some different enemies, and some of the challenges that you do near the end of the game are really unique. And some of the bosses are really cool. Like there's that one boss early on the game that everyone complains about because he's super, super hard right at the beginning of the game. And he like one-shots you. It takes forever. Everyone spends forever and dies like 100 times on that fight. I like stuff like that. I thought it was really fun. I don't know. Like I've always like really hard games, and I thought Neo really scratched that itch. Like it is definitely a difficult game. It wasn't difficult to the point where it was frustrating, at least not in my opinion. It was more of just like a really good experience. And it was challenging, and that made it feel more rewarding.
Yeah.
So yeah, Neo's really good. The story was, I don't know. It was a story.
That game's not about its story though. Like
no, it's definitely not about its story. But I think that the influences from traditional Japanese history and stuff, they did a good service to that stuff, and it is where it can be and where it is not influenced by weird magic. It is true to actual history. And you can learn a thing or two about all of that by playing that game. And I think that a lot of like the design and the style of the places that you go to and all of like all of the weapons and abilities and all that. They really did a good job with all of them. So really cool game. I played a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, I'm glad it stuck with you too.
Yeah, my Dark Souls of this year, I guess.
Did you get the platinum though?
No, I think I'm really close though.
You should make that 2018 goal.
I should do that. I should go back. I don't remember what I still need to do.
We can go up.
You need to be Dark Souls 2 first.
Are you? If you go back,
play Dark Souls 2.
If you go back,
I know.
would you be willing to restart on PC?
No, because it doesn't have trophies. I mean, I would play it on PC. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's no point in going for a platinum on PC because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does. Steam Platinum.
That's right.
No, those Steam. Okay, look, Steam trophies have never ever mattered. You can literally download a program that gives them all to you, all of them.
All of them. Of all the games.
Yeah, every game in your library, you can have all the achievements in 5 seconds. And ever since that was a thing, and then Valve did nothing, because why does anyone care? It's 2018. Why do people care about Steam achievements? They're irrelevant. Anyway, number 3. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The game's good.
PUBG!
PUBG!
Game is good.
It's like, PUBG is weird because, like, it's not a game that I'm going to hype up. It's not a game that I'm going to talk about, like, a lot and be like, yo, this game is the fucking shit. Like, everyone should play PUBG. PUBG is PUBG is the new god. PUBG is the new meta. It isn't. It's a really good game that is deeply satisfying, but also a game that is very much true to the mold of every other game that has come before it in its genre.
Mm-hmm.
It does it, but it does it so well that it is undeniably good.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, Scott and I have spent an incredibly long amount of time playing that game. More than I have ever wanted to play any other Battle Royale game before. And I still want to play that game. It's not like I want to play PUBG every day, but it is a type of game where I know there will be, one time a week or whatever, where I just want to sit down and play a game PUBG. And, and every time I do it, it has been satisfying. I don't think I've ever had an experience with PUBG where I sit down and I play the game and I leave later. And I was like, well, I didn't have fun doing that. I could join a game of PUBG and literally just like drop down, find someone and follow them the entire time. Not do anything, just try never to get seen by them, but follow them as closely as possible. And that's a fun thing to do. Or I could try super hard and kill as many people as I can until I get ultimately destroyed by a guy who found the shotgun before I did right at the beginning of the game. I feel like that game, kind of like how I kind of think about this game the way that I used to think about League of Legends and Dota 2, where every time you play that game, there is such a giant myriad of things that could on the last game that you played. The game is almost never the same. And there's so many things working to make that experience great that it allows that to happen. And I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that it's so popular. You're never going to have trouble finding 100 players to play a game. And that's kind of crazy, right? Like how long are the queue times on PUBG? Instant. Like as soon as you hit, everyone in your party hits ready, you're in a game that's starting in 40 seconds with 96 other people if you have a full squad. And that's crazy. How many people must be playing the game for that to happen? Even League of Legends has 30-second queue times, not instant.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's true on Xbox One as well. Also.
Yeah, exactly. That's super cool. And the reason, so like League of Legends, you can just play that game. It's always going to be different. And there's always some way to make that a good experience for you. So I don't know. Then they added this map that's way too big, so we'll see what happens. Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Damn.
Yeah, dragon robots.
Well, like dinosaurs and dragons and bears.
Mm-hmm. And giant ice falcons.
Yeah, I hear the falcons suck, though.
Yeah, that game, real good. I think a lot of people forgot about that game because it happened in like this weird situation where like 3 really, really good games came out within 5 minutes of each other. And people didn't have time for Horizon. So a lot of people who are talking about Horizon got to it like later in the year. I don't know. Like, I had an amazing time with Horizon. I got to play it, on PS4 Pro later. I didn't get to play the whole thing for the first time in the super HD graphics, but I think that does a lot. It makes it way, way nicer. It's so beautiful. The story for that game, in an open world game, the story is the highlight of Horizon. And it is amazing in a game that is set up to be an open world game the way that it is, that story was able to be so good. And I don't know, like, people hate on the ranged combat too and the bow stuff, but I thought it was great. One of the best combat systems in an open world game, in my opinion. It lets you do so much cool stuff. You have so many options at your disposal. I think that's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Strong characters, strong environment, really neat weapons to play around with. A lot of good stuff going for Horizon. I had a really good time with it.
And the story, I know, is like a highlight for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, number 1. Any guesses?
Oh gosh, I wonder.
I wonder. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it. Persona 5 is the best game that has come out in the history of games, except for one.
Wow.
And yeah, so
wish you were
there's
that
that.
enthusiastic on our fucking Persona 5 spoiler cast. It's a good game.
It's really fucking good. There's not there. Honestly, like, the only reason why this game is not my favorite game of all time is because I would feel bad giving my favorite game of all time to Persona 5, because my favorite game of all time is the game that is more like a game that has shaped me as a person than a game that is a cohesive and excellent experience. But Persona 5 is a perfect video game.
Damn. I don't disagree. That game's really good. That's a good list.
Thanks, bud.
All right, Nabeshin, you can't get away from it anymore.
I mean, I can.
You can just leave.
You could just leave. I mean, I want to talk about your favorite games, Nabeshin.
Play with me.
Play with me. Hit me with it.
All right. So honorable mentions first.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So 2017 was a crazy year. I don't think I've ever played as many games as I've had in 2017. It's so many games that spoke to me for multiple reasons. Even the ones that there's some of them that are in my honorable mentions that are like games that I didn't connect with like most other people did, but like I still had like a great fondness for it. But the one I want to mention first that like it's like the number 11, like the one that this literally just like got off the top. And I wish I could have saved, but I can't because it's the top 10 list, and I have to value that, and I value that very much. Is SteamWorld Dig 2. I think that game is flawless. I think that game is phenomenal. I think that game is as far as like going through a game and just like doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over again, you can't get anything better than SteamWorld Dig 2. It's just something so zen and so good all the same time that like is like it's almost like incomparable. Like it's just something I wish more people played and like were more aware of. It's like because it's so inoffensive and it's so genuine in what it is. It's just a good gameplay mechanic that you just do over and over again, and it's just great for what that is. There's nothing really like there's nothing negative to say about that game. Like it's as close as like almost to perfection as it can be for what it's trying to do, and I really love it for that. I just found some other games that spoke to me a little bit more. It was because story-wise and character-wise. But other than that, yeah. But some other honorable mentions I like to mention. Tekken 7. That's an incredible fighting game that I played this year. Um, and like I've always had like this affinity for Tekken, but like I never really like got into them. Like the story and stuff like that. Like I never really had a complete grasp of, but I always know was I had this crazy backstory of it. And I started around like Tekken 5 on PS3, the Dark Resurrection one, where it didn't really have a story involved in that version of the game. So like I never really got the story then. The Tekken 6 wasn't that great of a game, so like the story stuff in that game wasn't really connecting with me all that much. But Tekken 7 does something really cool where it's just like it has like every cutscene from every Tekken game in that game. And like and the whole central story of Tekken 7 is like ending the Mishima bloodline. And so like that whole journey through that, I just spent like a few days. I remember just looking at every cutscene, seeing every ending of Tekken, Tekken 1, Tekken 2, and then Tekken tag games, et cetera, et cetera. And just enjoying that, and just like enjoying like seeing these different iterations of kings, the lion head guy or the leopard head guy, like how is this like that's like and by the time of Tekken 7, like that's the third version of king, and like for one or other reason or another, like he died, or his student took his mantle and started to become king, and like he has this grudge against Armor King, and like this is weird lore shit that I really enjoyed from those games.
Tekken seems so great.
Yeah, Tech is real good.
I've never touched a Tekken game in my life, and this makes me want to play it.
Yeah, and like and Tekken 7 by itself is just like this phenomenal fighting game. It's just so much fun to play. And like them adding Geese Howard was like one of the most hype things of this year. Geese Howard from fucking King of Fighters, a whole different fighting game genre, not genre, but a different fighting game series, and like him being in this game along with Akuma. And like it just like they fit so where like adding Akuma to the Tekken lore is like the most craziest shit ever, and then like it works, and he fits so well into it too, which that's what makes it so good. It like he's like he was always a character that we just like didn't see in the background or something like that. So like yeah, Tekken 7 is amazing. That's an amazing game. Life is Strange Before the Storm is another honorable mention. Really great game that I more surprising. Like that game is better than it has any right to be, I feel. Just getting the backstory of like Chloe and Rachel Amber, and seeing who Rachel is as a person, and then like you just like almost tell immediately like it's like wow, like I totally get it. I could totally see like why you were like this person that everyone talked about you in the original Life is Strange, and like that everyone talked about was always this thing in the background, like but we never knew in that game. And like when you see her in this game and like the type of person she was, it's like oh my god, like oh, totally like you just get so intoxicated with her, and it's like just the way she thinks and stuff like that, and the way she talks, and just like the kind of person she is just like is really just infatuating and super interesting. I don't think the third episode ends like completely well. Like it's good for what it is, but it didn't end like it doesn't end all that great. It does some cool stuff though, like the way that it ends and like the way that story ends. Not so much as like what you know what's going to happen to her and everything about that stuff, but like more of like that story for what those 3 episodes are. I think it does some cool stuff at the end, but like all in all, it's not all that great. But like the first episode and the second episodes are like really just like phenomenal type of stuff. Some really interesting gameplay moments that you do in those games that are like really interesting stuff for like the type of genre that it is. Like I won't mention it here, but like but yeah, I really enjoyed Before the Storm. I enjoyed it a lot. Other stuff. There's 2 little honorable mentions I just want to mention. Horizon Zero Dawn. A game that I keep wanting to go back to, but I can't for whatever reason. But like the thing about Horizon 2, it feels so weird talking about that game and like listening to other podcasts and how other people feel about the game. After especially after all this time it's come out, it feels like it's the game that like everyone's supposed to like, or like it's like it feels like almost like a Skyrim situation, and I mean that in a way of like when Skyrim came out in 2011, that was like the game of that year, and like there was like no dispute for that. And I feel like Horizon is supposed to be that game, but like everyone's minds are so differently now, and it's been such a crazy year that it felt like like it's one of the most polished games. It's like has a great like female protagonist, and like that open world is so alive, and like it's made on a current console, and it's like it looks phenomenal. So it seems like it does all the things right for what a game of the year should be, like almost in an Oscar kind of way. It was like these are all the ingredients to make a perfect game for to be nominated for game of the year, and like it feels like people just rebelled against it, and like it seems like it's getting too much shit for that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I feel that game's like really great for what it is. It's just something it's kind of like one of those games where it's like I don't know if it was really made for me, but like anytime I played it, I enjoyed it, and like the gameplay is really good once you get into it.
I think that speaks to there were so many games that kind of fucked with that formula of like the standard game of the year formula this year.
Mm-hmm. I feel that too. Yeah, but yeah, that game's real good though.
That's a good honorable mention for me as well. I don't dislike that game at all. I think it's great. So.
Mm-hmm. And the other honorable mention for me is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Kind of the same thing too. But in a different way. Because this is just a personal thing for me. Like it's definitely like that game is like phenomenal in this game design and like the way it looks and the things you can do in that game. And it's like it's crazy that that's a video game that you can play and the amount of options that you have as far as like gameplay and like just like the way that the environment just like is alive, and like it's like what I said I think earlier this year, like where it's like all the intricacies and like in all the uniqueness you would get out of a dungeon like any other previous Zelda game, where it's like that's the thing you go for that game. Like that's the entire world in that game, it feels like. And it's like and it's like you could see like for me, like after a while you saw like pretty much all the quote unquote tricks that game had. So it's like you could like either keep going with that and like love it for what that is, or you just leave it. I more or less left it, but like it's always something I think about and always something I want to go back to, because I still really enjoy that game. I still think it's really good, but like it's just like a motivation type of thing. Because like it's more of like, oh, I want to be part of this game because I think it's cool playing it, more than it's like there's an objective in that game that makes me want to keep going back to it. And that's probably my only like hang up really for that game. It's like it's like a good inverse to it is like I always think about Skyward Sword and beating that game, because like I'm really invested in Zelda and Groose and like all those characters in that game. And I don't really have that for Breath of the Wild. Like I just want to play that game just to play that game, just because like I like being in that world, and I like doing this stuff in that world. Is why I will play that game, but there's no like real like factor of when I want to be part of that play that game. Like I'm interested in the story, but like it's just too separated, literally separated for me, like to actually get what I want out of it. So but I still think that game is great though, and I think it deserves all the praise that it gets. So anyway, my top 10 games of the year, my number 10 is Gravity Rush 2.
Hell yeah.
I think that game is so good, and I think it's good for a lot of reasons. It's not perfect by any means or anything like that, but it's like it feels like a modern 3D platformer. Like in a modern sense, like we have like Crash and some even Mario doing like 3D collectathons in like a not a retro type of way, but like a way that we're used to, and like we're just doing it, and they're just doing like in a little more fresher ways, that I can hand a time and even ukulele. But I think in a modern sense, I feel like Gravity Rush 2 does that in a great way with like the gravity mechanics and like what you do in that game. Like I feel like the transversal through that game, like when like there's nothing better I feel in that game than like you're on top of one of the islands, like one of the floating islands, and like, oh, I want to go to like the next part, or like I want to go to like another area in that game. And all you do is just fall. You just fall in that game. You know, you see like like the physics, you see our hair falling, and like you could fall for like a good like 2 minutes straight before you actually hit the ground, or you just like actually like you could fast travel, or you could just like do like our different gravity mechanics to like get there faster. But like I just like this falling in that game, which is like a funny thing to say, but like that being the main mechanic in that game is like just so much fun, and like this in the different areas, just being the one big open sprawling world is like this really cool to me. That game feels like a lot of freedom. It feels very free, and that's why I really like that game. And also the story is great too. Finally getting Kat's backstory from like the previous game, so like it was pretty much she didn't really have well, she had amnesia in that game, so like she didn't really know who she was. In this game explores all that, and like knowing who she is, her origins, and like how it ties in a whole bigger picture, and it's like really great. And then that's a good little social commentary in that game too, like about like social issues, and like the poor versus the rich type of thing. So like yeah, I really enjoyed the game immensely. Number 9 is Sonic Mania for me. That game is
I heard it's a good Sonic game.
It's a really good Sonic game.
Good Sonic game. You know, I had a dream the other night that I played Sonic Mania and liked it. It's the weirdest dream I think I've ever had, because I've not really loved a Sonic game, but I remember like playing a level, like some new level, and loving it.
I mean, I just
want to share that.
yeah, sure. Like that game is so good. It's really, really good. And it's like you could just tell, you could just see the passion is oozing off of it. From people who love Sonic and like those old games, and like in because like it's always a weird thing where it's like comes to fandom with certain stuff. Like we're seeing it out like with Star Wars right now, where it's like where the fandom doesn't really know what it wants, and it's just like even, and sometimes a certain fandom can like when a fandom's in control of something, like you don't know if they actually they're actually ruining what's actually made it good or whatever by trying to make it the same or make it super different or whatever. And I feel like them going back to like a retro Sonic thing and actually nailing it so good, like it just does everything right as far as like the look and like the feel and the music and the gameplay and the sprites. Even the sprites look phenomenal in that game. It is the best Sonic the Hedgehog game that is out, and not in like a hee hee ha ha type of way, but like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles are like so good for what they are, and like it just nails it. It's like so good. It almost does like the Shovel Knight thing too, but like it's good that like it does the Shovel Knight thing where it's like, you know, something you remember and it's actually as good as you remember it being. Is one of those things, but it's like it feels like, but it's actually an official thing. Like it's not just like a Mario thing where it's like I play Mario World again and it's like, oh yeah, it's like actually pretty good. It's like something that's like officially from somebody that's part of Sega, and it's like it's actually being what it's supposed to be. And it's fantastic. It's so good. It's really, really good. I like it a lot.
Your dreams, man. 2017.
At least my dreams.
Nabeshin's dreams are the only dreams that matter.
Yeah, this year apparently. Number 8, I have a Cuphead. that game was really freaking good too.
I think Cuphead should be higher. Nabeshin not.
Yeah, it probably should, but like you know, like this man, like I've talked a lot about Cuphead already, so I'm not really gonna like talk too much more, but like just like I said, it's like listening to the music of that game and like just remembering the boss fight I had with that music because like you know I played against that boss like so many times and then like I just remember I just like instantly remember what that boss is just from that music alone, which is like phenomenal in itself. The music, um, yeah, that game is just so good. Like it just nails everything right. Um, like and like it's just so polished and like and that's this year for me honestly like games just being like so polished and so good and like nailing what they're setting out to be um and it's just a phenomenal thing just like playing something like Cuphead, something I just like saw from like a quick teaser and it's like oh just like go back to that and just like it coming out after all these years, just waiting and waiting on it because like it's like that was just the one Xbox thing that was like this is this thing that's not necessarily a system seller, but like is this something that's like this is something special and something that's only on your platform. So like you know like get it out there and like let's see what this shit can do. And it actually coming out and delivering is just like some next level shit that I just like really really love. And yeah, Cuphead is like top tier shit. Like I love top Cuphead so much.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This was a weird one for me because like I followed that game since literally its inception, whereas like where like it first teased it and like and then like I just been following the YouTube of Ninja Theory, just seeing like this game being made from when like they first started with the trailer to like gameplay concepts and like them deciding like how they're going to try to do this on an indie budget and try to make this like this indie AAA game is like how they like to tag it. And like I've been with that game like every step of the way. And then like eventually when it came out, like it was weird because it's like like I still didn't know what to think about it. And it's like and especially because like I always thought it was gonna be like a character action game, and then like I knew about the mental health stuff that they were trying to infuse in the game. But like I thought it would be still like more of a character action game, and it really wasn't. And then like you know it's like I just didn't like really vibe with it at first, and so I put it down. And it took me a couple of tries before I actually got into it. And like I said, like it was after doing the 2 doors and going through that main door and make the main door open. And like it was after that point where I was just like fucking hooked on that game. And it's and like after that it was just like this is something different and it's something great and it's something good. And it's like then it's like everything just clicked after that. Like it just felt so good. Not really good. It felt so right for that game, I should say. And it makes you just like so immersed into it. And like I said, like in one of the trials, where you're in the pitch dark room, like I don't think I've like ever been that terrified, like ever, just going through that. But like terrified in a good way. And like the best thing about Hellblade is like there's moments in that game where you're just like legitimately just scared for your life, but like there's no bullshit like with the normal horror games where like there's no jump scares in that game or anything like that. It just makes you just feel fear. And that's a cool thing that game is able to do and like inflict out of a player, I feel. And
it's a good way to put it too. Like there's no bullshit. It's like you're empathizing with Senua of like that fear of an actual physical thing in front of you.
Yeah, there's tons of moments into that in that game, and like how it ended too was just like so great too. I felt there's a lot of emotions at the end of it. But yeah, like they told the story that they wanted to tell, and I think they nailed it out of the park with that. And yeah, I really enjoyed it because of that. My number 6 is Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. That game does a lot of things that like I'm just thinking about it now because like I had my list for forever, but like I was looking at it and I'm trying to remember like things about Danganronpa, and it's like, oh yeah, it's fucking Danganronpa. When I was playing it, I the best thing about I loved about that game, like other than like the second to the last one, is like it just kept me guessing like every step of the way, like and like because like there's always like especially in the other Danganronpa games where it's like I think I just don't. Or I'll take it back. Not in the other Danganronpa games, but I just didn't know who it was. Like you can easily pick it out, like who it is, or at least kind of guess who it is. And like in this one, like they just subverted my expectations, like almost every step of the way. Like other than like I said, other than the second and the last one, where they made that like a little bit too obvious. Be like the method about it is like interesting, but like other than that though, like I just didn't know who was what or what was what, and it's just like, and it always got me like every single time, and it's like, and that was always a great feeling, and like and then like obviously like after you know who it is and like they had their spiel of why they did it, that those emotions like after those parts of Danganronpa are always the best, and it's just like and then like you know the whole punishment time, and then like that whole sequence is just like always like drives emotions and everything like that. So it's like and that's the thing about Danganronpa, and like even though like V3 I feel like overall in the overall sense is like this trying to like be number one again, which it can't really be. Because like number one was so special and like it could have been standalone by itself, and this one is obviously something that's like a sequel that's like trying to be something again. I still feel like it ended like in a great way to like try to ape that again, and like in the best way of trying to ape that again too. So like all those surprises in that game were just like top notch for me, and I loved every second of it. Every second I played it, I loved it.
Yep.
My number 5 is Yakuza 0.
Ooh. I need to play that, don't I?
Yakuza 0 is so good, dude.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, man.
Oh my god. Like as far as story, like that's probably my favorite of the year.
How much karaoke can you sing in that?
So much, dude. Like, like a
Man.
fucking lot. Yakuza 0 is so fucking good. It is so good. Not just in like a oh, this is a good way you could get into this the series type of way. But like it's just a great game, period. Just like just in general, like there's so much emotion and so much melodrama and just so much shit. This is like in these Yakuza games, and like it's weird how like Zero just like does it the best. Like because I've been a Yakuza fan for forever, but like 3 was always my favorite just because of that was the one I beat actually, but I always bought the other ones as well. I just never really like finished any of them. But this one was just like there's something about this one in general, in particular I should say, whereas like it just got me hooked from beginning to end, and like and I think it's mostly Majima, and it's because of that. Even though like Kiryu's shit is like phenomenal too as far as like his story in that game, but like it was just definitely Majima's like side of it, where it's like he's always this like weird eccentric character in the future games, but like you don't really know how he got to that point, and like Zero explains all that, and like who like Majima models himself after to like be that weird eccentric character, and like what breaks him to be that person at the end. Yeah, so like Zero is something else entirely, and like one of my most favorite scenes in that game was like this part with Kiryu and Nishiki, where like Nishiki tries to kill out Kiryu. And the reason he does it is because like Kiryu is his Kyodai, his sworn brother, and it's like you're just gonna get tortured if you get captured, dude. So like I should just end you now, just so you won't have to go through it. And Kiryu just completely understands it because like that's his brother. They understand each other like so good, and just like, dude, like when you kill me, just like be sure to bring in my head so like you just get to the top. And just like Nishiki just not be able to take it. He just like I can't take it. Like I can't kill you. I can't do any of this stuff. And this is like that melodrama is so good in that game. I really enjoy it a lot. And then there's also over the top of shit as well. Like stuff with like Kiryu going against Kazu, and like that him just being a Yakuza motherfucker. Like with the like going through like riding a motorcycle and having tattoos and like there's so much good in like Yakuza 0. Like I urge people to play that one in particular before you start the other one, especially like if you want to get into the series, is 0 first and then go to Kiwami, because like you'll have a greater appreciation of Kiwami for multiple reasons before you go to do 0 then Kiwami, and I think you'll have a really appreciate the series. My number 4 is Super Mario Odyssey. There's a lot to love about this game.
Tell me about Donk City.
The thing about like Super Mario Odyssey, I think that I don't think most people are talking about now. Or well, they are, but I don't think they are at the same time. It's like the sense of joy that you get out of that game, and I think the sense of joy you get out of the game is like something you don't really get out of a lot of video games. Even games like other Mario games. Like I don't think there's like a level of joy you get as much as you play Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, we could complain about like it not having like is having mechanics from like other Mario games, like from Galaxy or even like 64 or Sunshine. And we could complain about like there's too many moons or something like that or anything like that. But like just going through like the first time you go through that game with the main campaign, just enjoying it for what it is and just like having fun for what it is. And like I said, when you do that campaign from beginning to end, there's zero bullshit in that game. And it's just a matter of just like just enjoying yourself and playing it the way you want to play and enjoying it the way you want to enjoy it. Just getting the moons and just either staying there or just going. And just having the joy of playing that game, having the joy of capturing something and just like using your powers just to have fun in that game. There's a level of fun and enjoyment that like you don't get out of much video games, and I think that game just emulates it like so well and does it so good. That's like there's nothing else like it. I feel at least. And yeah, I enjoy the game.
That's a big part of, like shout out to Greg Miller. He wrote a top 10 list for GiantBomb.com, and Mario Odyssey was his number 1, and he said like he just had a smile on his face the whole time he was playing it.
But I feel that's like a trope of a lot of people like saying when they say we play video games.
Mm-hmm. But like I don't think that's more true of any game than Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For me, like the Odyssey didn't do that for me, but Zelda did do that for me. Like I was giddy and smiling the whole time I was playing that game. So like I totally get that.
I think I mean more of like what it zooms from that. It's not like something that like it's like or they made like I could say that my Persona 5, like I was giddy the entire time I played that game, and yes I was, like I love that game from beginning to end, but like there's something about Mario that's like that makes you feel good. There's a good feeling that comes from that. Like anytime you hear like Jump Up Superstar or something like that, it's something that can like uplift you and make you feel good if you're not feeling the best or something like that. I think there's something,
man, that the video game.
Hey, I think there's something truly special about that game that makes you feel more jolly than like more than any other game. And yeah, that's just my weird opinion though.
I totally see that. I think that's a good take on that game.
My number 3 is Near Automata. This is a weird moment for me because like the reasons I like Near are a lot different from a lot of people. And I say that because like people have like very philosophical and like uh deep meaning reasons of why they like Nier. And like I get that, and like I totally see it too, and like and that is a good reason why I enjoyed it as well. But it's not the reason why I enjoy that game. And like it's kind of weird just to be like people like, oh, we should talk about Nier. We should be like this whole spoiler cast thing. And I'm like we can, but like the reasons I like Nier is because it's a fucking platinum game more or less. And like I like the way it feels, I like the way it looks, I like the way it plays. I like the style of it, even though it's a jury style, but like I enjoy that style. But like there's still like anime shit in there. And I like the
nothing wrong with anime shit.
And I like the endurance and like the overall fights that you have in that game. And like people want to talk to me about like depth and stuff like that, but like, and I get that. Like I'm like sure, but like that's not the reason I gravitate towards the Nier. And like it kind of makes me feel dumb for the most part. You know, like beating that game completely, ending E Rowdy, and like feeling good about that game after that, and loving that game after that, and then like hearing other people's like get like deep meaning and stuff like that. It makes me feel like a kind of like a big old dummy.
That's how I feel too, though. This makes me feel better about Nier. I'm letting you know. Like I like that game just because I like its characters. I like how it plays. I like how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of deeper stuff is lost on me in a lot of ways for a lot of other reasons. But I mean, you and George would have a good conversation about it. I think he's in a similar spot as you are. I'll say.
Okay. And like I enjoy those deeper conversations. Like hearing Alex Navarro like go off about it like all year long, and like especially his game of the year pitch for it. He obviously got touched by that game more than like any other person I've ever fucking seen, which is like crazy. And like I see his perspective, and I enjoy his perspective of that game too. It's just not something that got to me for those reasons. Having said that though, Nier's a great game. I love that game just because it's fun to play.
I gotcha.
I like the reasons I like Nier. Here's a good example. The reason I like Nier is because the DLC you get like the president from Square Enix, and like he shoots his face like a million faces and shit. That's the reasons I like Nier.
Yeah. Some good shit right there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I guess.
Yep.
My number 2 game, which is like God, is like if the number 1 thing wasn't happening, like number 2 is just like it's so good and it's so up there. Is Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods is like so good. I love this game like to literal death. For so many reasons. The main story about that game is your girl named May who's come back home after like dropping out of college, and like she dropped out of college for like personal reasons that like you don't really find out till like near the end of the game. And like and it's like you know, like she's just like going through her day-to-day life living with her parents, and like not really figuring out, but like just going through her day-to-day. And like you know, like she kind of gets pressured of like hey, what do you want to do and why are you here, and like why you like what the fuck happened, and it's like she doesn't really have an answer for that. It does a lot of great, clever, and it does like a lot of interesting shit in that game. Like the best thing about that game is like this, like just going out and just talking to people, and like I just get so wrapped to talk to everyone. Where it's like Greg or B or Angus or Lori or Selmer, or talk to your mom or your dad, and it's like I remember these characters, Lori. I don't know. I don't think I've mentioned Lori. Lori's great too. Germ, yeah, also a good one too. It's just like, and like it's so good too because like it's one of those games where it's like like I said, like a people like this comparison. I don't know why I just said something and it resonated with people, but like it's a west. I feel it's a Western indie version of a Persona game. Just like just take out the dungeon crawling and you got Night in the Woods. Because it's all about like the characters and like spending time with the characters, spending like deciding who you want to spend your time with, and like getting deeper with those characters and knowing who they are. Like Greg rules, okay, and that whole meme of that, and it's fucking true. Greg does rule, and he rules for like multiple reasons. Like he rules because like he's your best friend, and you get to hang with him, and just do fucking crimes. And when I mean crimes, you do knife bites, you fucking shoot like like some deer thing in the woods, like some deer thing that Greg made, and you just do that. You break into places and you like smash cars because it's fun, and like he's your best friend, and like this is the stuff that you always done. But like Greg is also a character who has like a bipolar problem, and he's one to two only gay people in the neighborhood, and is like he has issues that he has to deal with every day, and like him and his boyfriend are trying to like leave the town to like actually like go to a place where they could be in a different area and be more accepted for who they are. It makes us like, whoa, okay, like I didn't know you were going through this, and like I'm sorry about that, dude. And like, and Greg finds his release when May comes back into town because it's like, oh, like I've been focused and trying to move and stuff like that, and so I've been working literally every day, and then seeing May again for like the first time in forever, and it's just like, oh fuck, let's fucking go, let's do some shit, let's do some crimes, which is great. And like that relationship is so good, and also May with B is like B's like she's younger than May, but like she's like the adult of the group, and it's like she's like the bigger older sister or younger bigger sister or whatever. And like May went off to college and like was able to do that, and like B just never had that opportunity. She had to like take care of her family's business, and like she felt like she feels so trapped at where she's at, and like May's such a free spirit that it kind of bugs her, and they clash a bunch of time, but like eventually it gets to the point where like they just have this sister relationship that's like that's really good and really deep for multiple reasons, and it's so good. But yeah, I could keep going on and on about Night in the Woods. It's just like it's just stuff like that like just keeps me coming back to it and makes me think about it like constantly. And it keeps me playing it too. It's like, especially since they did the Weird Autumn update, it's just like all the new content is just like just more people to talk to, and like just talking constantly to everybody. And I also want to mention like May's mom as well. Just like just going downstairs every day and just talking to your mom is like this, like one of the best things of that game, or at least for me, because like her mom is just like a fool. She's someone who cares so deeply about her daughter, and it's a great conversation just like every time you have with her. But like your mom is also like, hey, so what happened at school? And like May's like, I can't really talk about it right now. And she's understanding, but like there's that point where it's like, we need to talk about this. Come on, like something has to give, and they get an argument about it. But like, they still come back together and like have a consistency. This is like, like we're a family. We'll talk about this eventually. So like, there's so many good moments in Night in the Woods that I just love it to death.
It's good to hear some of those moments to have like a better understanding of it, though.
Yeah. That game is like phenomenal, and would have been my game of the year if I hadn't played a certain game called Persona 5, which is my game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good video game.
Fucking good video game.
Not to like take too much of what Tony literally just said over again.
No, it's all right. Do it.
But Persona 5 is is like my pedestal as far as like something games need to expire and like and what they could do in their medium. Like it feels like literally perfect to me. Like for me personally, and for so many reasons, in so many ways. I can't like when I was playing it, I just couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. The music gets to me like every time, and like the characters I care for so dearly, and like when that game released, like that was an event.
It was, yeah,
for me, like in so many ways, and like it was something that consumed me like all over, like everything was that game for me, and like it's something it's something that like I just can't like put into words how much I love and what I've done with my time with it. Like I spent over 200 hours with it now, and like beating that game was like one of the hardest things to do because like I didn't want it to end.
Same.
And it's like I never wanted to stop playing that game. I just wanted to just keep going for so many reasons. Like every character I love, every character fucking matter to me. Like there's certain characters even in other Persona games where it's like oh, you're the low point of this, you're the shoe of this fucking game, where I was like, I don't want to talk to you or something like that, but I have to because I had to get all my social links. But everyone I wanted to talk to, I wanted to talk to fucking Yoshida. Yoshida was awesome.
Yeah.
Yoshida hype. Like
Yoshida hype for days, man.
Like I love, like everyone I wanted to talk to, and everyone was good for who they were. In different ways, shape, or forms. And and I said the themes in that game too was just like it really got to me, and it and especially like in a very crazy year that we had.
It spoke to the year. Like it couldn't have come out in a better year also.
Yeah. And like it's also the game where whereas like the criticism for it, where it has completely valid ones of it, is like it does nothing for me as far as like okay, is this like an okay? Like I get you, I understand, I understand what you're coming from. Let's talk about this. Sure, that's fine. However, it doesn't fucking matter. Because you know, sometimes when you like hear a criticism of like something you really love, this is like, yeah, I guess it does, and like it just like kind of brings it down for me a little bit. Like, oh, The Witcher doesn't have any like color people in it. And it's like, yeah, I guess it shouldn't matter. Well, it does matter because representation matters, and I understand representation matters and all that other stuff. And like you know, Persona 5 has tons of that shit too, but it doesn't fucking matter because that game is so good to me. And I can't stop thinking about it. I can't just stop praising it. Everything about that game I just fucking love. This beginning to the end. I'm done talking for a while.
That's a good list. And I agree. That's it. I do want to, just in the spirit of things, in the spirit of our old top 10 podcasts that we used to do, does everyone have like a thing that they're looking for, a game they're looking forward to the most in 2018? The year
Dragon Ball Fighter.
Can I
3. No, Travis returns. Travis touchdown. No more heroes. Whatever. A bunch of shit.
Can I instead submit an event in the gaming universe?
Yeah.
The ultimate delay of Kingdom Hearts.
Fucking. Where are you at, Nabeshin? Do you believe? Do you not believe?
I believe.
Yeah, no, Kingdom Hearts is not announced for this year. You cannot say that as your most anticipated game for next year.
It is announced for this year, 2018. Yes.
What quarter?
It just says 2018.
Tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow. I believe as well, Nabeshin. I do want to throw out a little game called
Monster Hunter World.
All right, no.
Mm-hmm.
Ni no Kuni 2. The hype is on. Let's go. March 26th. Let's do this. Please don't delay this game again.
PS4 only?
PS4 and PC, Scott. We out here.
Wait. Near the same date? At least a couple months apart?
No, same date, Scott.
Same date. Hype is real.
Hype is real. Scott and I are gonna take you to fucking Magic Land. Yeah. Tony, you got any?
Basically everything Nabeshin said.
Monster Hunter.
That's not everything he said.
I know. I'm just saying, like, Nabeshin
But
said that
yes,
for
Monster
me.
Hunter.
I'm not
For
hyped.
sure.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that Travis Touchdown game comes out this year, right? Fuck. I'm really curious to see what the game like looks like.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, thank you all for listening to this. I hope you enjoyed our lists. Next week we'll be arguing about video games a whole lot. And there will probably be more spoilers and more things there. But we have some really fun categories. We're gonna have a good time, I think. 5 parts, 5 days, 4 podcasters, 1 game of the year.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I think so. So we're going to be recording that next Friday, Saturday situation, maybe Sunday as well. So there also won't be like a live podcast then, and they'll go up Monday through Friday the next week, and then we'll be back on our grind the following Friday. Tony won't be there. He let us know ahead of time.
Yeah, I'll be out of state.
Out of state. But I'm going to try and be better about getting guests on and doing fun stuff. Got a lot of announcements. There's a new podcast starting in February that I'm hosting that I'm really excited to finally actually do.
Love ILRC or whatever.
Yeah, Love IRL.
There it is.
It's coming back. No, it's not. It's not coming back. Although there have been conversations about that show. I'll throw that out there.
Cool.
Yeah. Continue to enjoy our game of the year stuff. Please let me know what you think of our roundtable top 10 discussion or game discussions. Not really top 10, but 10 games, 10 conversations, a bunch
10
of
weeks,
guests,
10 fights,
10 fights, 5 days. We just had a bunch of guests to talk about 10 games that like really stuck out to us. And I thought the conversations that I've been a part of and that I've heard went very well, and I hope you all like them as well. They'll be going out all of this week. That's it. That's all we got. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabeshin, for sharing your lists. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Danny Wiesner, for opening music of 2-player co-op and our closing music of The World Is Saved. Love that dude. He said he'd come back on the show, too, Nabeshin. Maybe your dreams can come true.
I don't care anymore. That was 4 years ago.
Shout out to Danny one time. I've been your host, Alex Daniel, Player Games. Stay rational. We'll talk to you all next week.
titles.
There's no titles. That's it. You can stop recording now.
All right.
Oh boy.
Podcast. Thanks, video viewers. Bye.